Hello, everybody, and welcome back to unMadeGaming. This is, we hit the halfway mark in our 12-hour stream. This is the third game, not the fourth game, which is what I was going to say. This is the third of four games, and we are back with, I believe, this is the final 6&Twenty Metropolis one-shot that you will see on the charity stream, unless I decide to be crazy and wild in August. Or incredibly lazy. One of the two, you'll never know. But we are here for more 6&Twenty Metropolis side adventures with some faces you've seen here before and a blank space, which is a great Taylor Swift song. That's not true. So let's jump around, introduce our cast here, and jump into the swing of things. We'll start with Sam. Sam, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at Harley's Armory. And I'm going to be playing Charlie, who I haven't played in a few weeks, in a very long time actually. And I don't know what she's up to. She's blind now, so that's cool.
You say she's blind now? Like she wasn't
No,
blind?
she's always been
I was going to say
blind.
she's blind the whole time.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Clarification here.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still blind.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I didn't expect her to not be blind, and I didn't know she was cured. So
There's surgery out there.
that's true.
So.
Eye replacement surgery. Let's jump over to let's go to Brahms. Brahms, who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing tonight?
I am reprising my role as Connor. You used to be able to find me on my channel, but until we work some stuff out. Currently, I'm taking a hiatus from streaming. We were doing our own 6&Twenty campaign. We're just doing hopefully it'll be a brief hiatus and we'll be back doing that. And we actually came up with a name. It's going to be Neon Nights. We're just not sure if it's going to be Neon Nights as in nighttime or Neon Nights as in the medieval sort of thing of a night. So
Well, as
hopefully
flattered
we'll have that going.
as Johnny as I am, that you want to run your own 6&Twenty campaign. I hope you mean you're running your own City of Mist campaign.
Did I say 6&Twenty? Yes, I meant City of Mist, not 6&Twenty. As much as I do love Johnny.
I mean, I'm flattered that you
I'm
want
sure
to run your game in our world, but
Yeah. Well, Johnny and I had conversations about the Mist and how it works and stuff, and maybe people could come over to my channel and do stuff. We'll
maybe,
see. I don't
maybe. Speaking of Johnny doing things and saying words, Johnny, who are you? Where can we find you? And tell us about 6&Twenty's City of Mist.
Johnny, Video Store Cowboy, GM for this thing that we do 6&Twenty. You can find me Video Store Cowboy everywhere. What we're doing today is the culmination of a couple of different storylines that have been set up in the one-shots. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We're also going to find out what happened to Charlie after she got consumed by a kraken, supposedly. So yeah, that's generally what we're doing today. Yeah. Anyways.
Cool. So before I shill the audience here, I have an important question for you. Who am I playing?
I don't know. Who are you playing today?
I don't know. You wrote this adventure.
Well, so it's one of two things, right? It could be I don't know. No, you should play Desmond.
Okay.
By the way, did you know what happened to Desmond's sister?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, good.
I
This will be great.
only watch the best show.
This will be great.
Yeah,
Connor knows, I mean, like, Brahms knows what's going on. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I only watch the best of the 6&Twenty shows.
So you mean your own?
Team Lazarus, yeah, for sure.
No, he means Team Esper.
No.
I mean the Wild Ones.
Team Trout.
Where is my team? We'll never know.
We'll never
The
know.
Wild Ones.
We'll never know. Cool. Guys, like I said, this is our 12-hour charity stream. We are here supporting Extra Life Charity. They fund research, equipment, games for kids in extended stay hospitals. It is a great cause. Feel free to jump in there, support them. If you look in the donation section down below, you can donate for Nat 1s, Nat 20s, NPCs, items, all kinds of fun stuff. There are plenty of ways to interact and plenty of ways to force Johnny to bend to your will. For money, of course. And with that, Johnny, take us into City of Mist.
Previously on 6&Twenty Metropolis one-shots, over various little adventures and times, Desmond and Connor have been asked to do a number of really interesting things. One was to recover a person, by the name of Galen Bell, whom was, or actually, you were asked to protect, if I remember correct, if that's correct. You were asked to protect her, to take her from one location to another by Tamonte. That was successful, except that she lost an item that was incredibly important to her, to which Connor and Desmond were then asked to actually recover that item being a horn. When recovering that particular horn, they discovered a number of other really interesting items, including a map that it was designated for an island with an X marking the spot. Whether we actually get to that particular point, I'm kind of curious about today. But Desmond and Connor also were in a huge fight to rescue somebody by the name of Egg Shen. Somebody that who was going to answer questions for Charlie and JP, who was also along on that adventure. And the last time that we saw the intrepid Desmond and Connor got some questions finally answered about what was going on with his mythos. And so now, as we kind of fade into this final little story, this little vignette, 6/20 Metropolis one-shots, we find ourselves in an unsettling scene at the beginning of this story. Desmond sitting in front of a TV, watching the news as there was a series of explosions in Tinseltown, in what was a abandoned adult studio that had exploded. On the news, talking about the dead, there is the mention of the name Catherine Devereaux running across the screen as one of the counted of the fatalities in the explosion.
Is that what
so, Desmond,
we just kill my family members? Is that what we're doing today?
Hey, you know what? So, okay, I'm going to pause it for a second and say technically that's Meta's fault. It's Meta's fault that she's dead.
I'm happy with this.
I'm sure you are, Charlie.
It's fucked up.
This is why I watch all the streams.
It's fucked up. I would like to say, last night, Speedy hosted a movie night and watched Big Trouble in Little China, and it was about halfway through the movie that he shouted in all caps in chat, "Oh my god, this is where Johnny got Egg Shen from!" And I said yes. And Rain, and Lightning, and Cloud, and David Lopan, and the bus, like half the gangs in the city. Yep, he never made the connection.
He really didn't know?
No, he didn't know. He hadn't seen the movie since he was like a kid. Well, I mean, since he was more of a kid. He hadn't seen it in like 10 years. Yeah. So
right,
now he's fully caught up on the show.
I'm sorry, I'm completely thrown by that. Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
So what was this explosion? Is this the first time I'm hearing of the explosion on the news?
So you're watching the news broadcast of the explosion on the screen, and basically what has happened is that there was a murder scene that was discovered. It was a double murder, and it is rumored that the murder, the crime scene was related to an old case that was supposedly resolved, which was the maid. So there was a new. Looks like I'm roboting out a little bit there. Sorry about that. The investigation was referencing the old Maiden Butcher case, which had been a resolved case, and the guy had been sent to prison. Arthur Bishop had been sent to prison, but there, a new set of murders have been beginning to happen, and the press has been like focusing completely on it. And your sister was out there investigating when there was a series of explosions that occurred in these various sort of like studio warehouses. And so she was one of the first fatalities identified, and you're just sort of discovering that on screen.
Man, I don't know how well they get along, but I think he would be distraught either way. What does the news say about the case? Does it say they suspect it was foul play? Was it like a
you're just watching the events unfold. The reporter is just reporting the circumstances, that there was a series of explosions. It looks to be like a gas main sort of exploded right under the warehouse facility, and the scene is now in chaos as as the crime scene is just, being completely obliterated, and emergency services are now focused on just rescuing as many lives as possible because the warehouse was full of crime scene investigators and uniformed police officers. Now I'm going to pause for a second and give you a little bit of a meta as to what's going on here, because this is one of those extreme moments when the mist has stepped in. So what for reference, it's just so you can understand what the scene was that was going on outside of the warehouse. Morgan had caught up with Arthur Bishop, and Arthur Bishop was antagonizing Trendane's character, who is Herbert, and Herbert transformed and became his natural form as a part of his mythos, which is a basilisk. And so the mist reacted in an extreme way and caused something to happen, and that something was the explosion. So technically, you can blame Trendane and Meta for this. But so this is one of those extreme events that we had talked about happening in the past when something very strong happens in respect to the mist trying to protect the mythos, and that's the story behind this particular event.
Okay, and this is like live on TV.
This is live on TV right now.
Okay, Desmond isn't a strong thinker. If we've learned anything, he's not a strong thinker, but he does have incredible speed. I think upon hearing this, he goes to the scene. Okay,
so as you arrive, there's a number of reporters and policemen just kind of running around, and it turns out there is a contingent of the mayor's office standing there. Connor, you were there, sort of representing, the mayor's office and the emergency services response, organizing, with the press and just kind of coordinating to keep the press off the backs of the emergency services, so the emergency services could do their job at this point. So, Desmond, when you arrive on the scene, it is absolute chaos. They're still trying to fight these fires. What happened was there was one explosion. As you're getting more information, you're listening to the news reports. There was one explosion that happened in the main building, and then there was two other outlying sort of like warehouse studio buildings that exploded as well.
I think that there's going to be a mist steps in scenario right now, because as I said, Desmond's not really a thinker, and he sees a familiar face in Connor, and Connor happens to be in front of press cameras and press people, and what they see is an instant. A man is now standing aggressively grabbing Connor as he speeds up to Connor, and he like grabs him by, I assume, his like suit jacket. He's like, "My sister's in there!" So the cameras and people essentially just see a guy boop appear next to Connor and start yelling at him.
Connor's like taken aback for a second and be like, "Jesus Christ, Desmond!"
Yeah, my sister's in there.
Your sister's in that explosion?
Yes, that's what that news anchor said.
And then he just kind of like looks off to the side, and then he looks to one of the other aides, other officials. "I need you to handle this. I need to pull him aside for a second."
So one of the emergency service guys, kind of shakes his head and kind of nods to you and allows you to kind of break away for a second as he continues to coordinate.
Okay, perfect. So he drags Desmond off to the side. Okay, so she's in there. It's a blaze in there. You can't expect to get in there right now.
Why can't I? When has that ever stopped me before?
That's to be fair, yeah, that's true. But do you see all the cameras here? Can you get into a back way?
I don't know.
I can't do damage control while you're, speed stirring around with all these cameras about. That could cause some issues.
I mean, that's the you problem. Just tell him I'm a superhero. That's what I tell everyone.
He just kind of hangs his head a little bit.
So I have the name. I have a logo on the shirt.
Yes, Black Comet, we know.
It's Star, and you do know.
So, here's what we're gonna do.
Piece of shit.
Okay, so yes, I know, Desmond, I know Black Comet, we got it, it's fine. We just need to keep the press off the speed string, so just find a back entrance, and I can keep them occupied. That's basically my job right now, is keeping them occupied and off the service workers. They need to get in there too. The firefighters need to do their job, police need to cordon off, and then we need to get the EMTs in there as fast as we humanly possibly can. And if you manage to get your sister, maybe consider getting a few other people out too, if you're able.
Sure. How many are in there? Who's in there?
Johnny, would you care to enlighten us as to roughly how many people would be actually in that explosion?
So in that explosion, the way that I described it on Team Esper's show, there was about 50 people inside. There was there were two separate crime scene setups. So the inside of the layout was that it was an adult studio where they were filming porn, and there were four different setups inside of this.
Did you just glaze over they were filming porn? Is that what you just said?
No, I wasn't glazing over the fact, because it's about to get very clear what was going on there. It was
Right.
this is the seedier part of Tinseltown. This is where sort of the down and dirty stuff was happening. The strip clubs are right there.
Yeah, you're just like casually. Yeah, there was like a studio and they were filming porn, and then anyway, it was like.
No, I said an adult studio and they were filming porn. I don't know if you remember when I said it before on the news broadcast. It was an adult studio.
I
right?
didn't process that.
So, this is one of those darker sides of the city, man. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right. Yeah.
So, anyways, there were four like scenes set up inside of this warehouse where they were filming. One was a bedroom scene, and one was a bedroom scene where they found a body, and another scene was a hospital sort of surgical room or exam room or some kind where there was another body, right? And so the focus was on those two areas inside of there, and there was about 50 people sort of scattered among the crime scene. So that's what's going on inside. So for what Connor would know from all of the information that he would have coming from the emergency services and people who were on the scene at the time of the explosion, yeah, the number is about 50.
Okay, perfect. So there's about 50 people in there, Desmond. Obviously, I don't think everybody's going to be, able to be saved on this one. I know you want to be a superhero, but sometimes it's just not possible. Just being realistic. Don't kill yourself. Get in there. Get the people that you can. Look for your sister. And get the hell out. And I will keep them busy.
Done. And he goes to like run, and then he like stops, sighs, and walks away from Connor. So plebeian. Casually walking. It's awful.
All right. So what is Desmond doing at this point?
So his goal is to as best he can is like look for a way in that like there aren't a lot of people focusing on, and then zoom in. I assume the building isn't completely in ruins, like in rubble on the ground, right? Is it just like the whole building exploded? What is it? What does the building look like itself?
So the explosion happened sort of towards the front side of the building. It was kind of like the front facade or the front walls sort of exploded, and came out. So that's where the gas main was. It has, and the rest of the building, the structure is still intact for the moment. The firefighters are working on it to get the flame out. And the backside of the structure looks to be a little less damaged, and so that's probably the best way that you would probably find to enter.
Okay.
So in setting up this particular scene, and because of who Desmond is, I'm assuming that one or two of his power tags from one theme book might get engaged in
Yes.
of a scenario.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that's what's about to happen.
Yeah. Once he
So,
surveys an entrance point, he's going to run in there.
Right. So be very elaborate about what you're trying to do if that's what's going to happen if this becomes an action thing.
Yeah, no, it's for sure going to become an action thing. If he sees an opening and the building is, I mean, it's obviously not structurally sound, right? But if the building is sound enough that you can get into and move around in, that's exactly what he's going to do. So I'm going to, I don't know what this would be. I think it might be investigate because I'm looking for people.
Okay. You're looking for people that are still alive.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead and start that.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to use blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use snooping around, amateur gumshoe. None of those apply. You know what? There's smoke and stuff around, and my relic can make fog. So I'm going to conjure heavy fog, and I'm going to use super speed. So that's 4 tags. So I'm sure you're going to knock that down a few pegs.
The only one that I'm gonna give you is that this only story tag that's a negative is going to be building on fire.
Okay. Cool. So I'll add a minus there. So yeah, essentially he's like looks around through the crowd. He like moves in and out of the crowd looking for an entrance. And then once he finds one, I'm gonna super speed to the entrance, and like the entrance is where the fog kind of comes in, and it sort of blends in with the smoke, so it kind of obscures him zipping in there. And then I'm going to be looking around for people. And I'm also going to hit myself with a weakness as well, called because this is a time situation because the building's collapsing. So I'm going to use this should be fun. Since the mist is acting in overdrive right now, and it's a high pressure situation, I'm going to use time space overload because he's pushing himself to move as quickly as possible here.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up something that I based on your tags, which I had assumed that you were actually going to do.
Yeah.
So the time space overload makes sense in respect to the weakness tag. I actually thought you were going to try to invoke time space warping in a way.
That's the theme book itself.
I know.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were going to try to evoke that specifically with the power tag of act just before it happens, and potentially invoke something that involves warping or changing time or reversing time in some way, and treating it as a stop holding back. Because you can do the investigate and figure out if your sister's alive. That's the reason I kind of set you up in this situation. Though that was my expectation, was that this was going to be one of those elements where Desmond is going to just evolve in a huge way.
I think that's cool, but I think that might come into play later. That is Desmond's not thinking right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we'll go with that, and that's going to be a 2 on investigate. And let's give it a roll. Mild success.
Okay. How many? Let's see. How many power tags is that again?
Ultimately, it came down to 2.
Okay. Ultimately, came down to 2. All right. So, ask me 2 questions. You've got 2 clues to spend here.
Okay. So the first clue is, where is my sister? And the second clue is, I got to be specific here because I know you can fuck with me. What will be the most safe path in and out for the longest amount of time? I know the building's on fire and crumbling, so I want to be able to get in and out as many times as possible without having to change that path, so I can get as many people in and out as possible.
Okay, so actually that's interesting. How would Desmond go about figuring that out?
So he's been in a lot of buildings. So essentially, while he's searching for people, he's looking at load-bearing pillars, walls, columns, etc., and trying to find out where this one doesn't have any chunks missing. This one's not on fire, right? Because obviously, the more damage is done to load-bearing walls and columns in this warehouse, the more likely that the floor is going to collapse.
Okay. All right, because of Desmond's super speed as well, I would assume that he would just probably jump on and grab. Damn it, Zoom chat. I would assume that he would also just jump on and try to find, schematics or of any kind, because he can move super fast to retrieve information. That would be my assumption as well.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Okay, so you execute that and then immediately jump into the process of kind of evaluating. So I'm going to answer the question about the efficiency first. So jumping in, you look at the plans of the building, you look at the structure, you look at what the current state of the building is, and you look at where the firemen are currently focused on, trying to reduce and minimize damage. You figure out that there is a couple of paths in and out that you can basically zoom back and forth through the building from either side, and that way you can cut a clear path and get people out, or at least have enough, not be in there long enough to be exposed and damaged of any kind, right? So you've got that most efficient path through, right? And it takes you right past the 2 crime scenes where you assume your sister and other people are. And so when you get inside, you see various burned bodies just kind of scattered all around. And there are a couple of people against the far wall who look like they've been blown back, and they're a little bit singed, but otherwise they're okay. And so as you're kind of speeding through, you see the half-burned body of your sister.
How half burned are we talking? Like dead burned?
Just.
I mean, I'm no doctor.
She's
I'm no doctor.
Half of her body is blackened with skin, and the clothes are basically burned off at this point. The only way that you're even able to recognize her is that she's got a very distinct, facial structure, that the side of her face that's not burned stands out very clearly to you, and her hair is like half not singed, kind of a thing still, but it's starting to smolder.
Okay, gross. Yeah, I think that's where the stop holding back happens, right? Because now he has the actual fear that, like, he can see the person, right? Yeah, so I'm going to use my powers in a new and unseen way. I'm going to do the old Superman trick. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm Superman in this shit. He...
No.
Yeah,
fuck.
So he sees her, realizes what's happening, and he's watched a lot of TV shows. He's grown up on, the media, the internets. So he does the Superman run around the world thing, except he localizes it. He just runs around her, backwards, though, because that's how Superman did it, right?
So he's going to run
backwards. Yeah, he runs backwards. That's how it was. He ran forward around the world and it put the world forward in time. He ran backwards around the world and it put the world backwards in time. So he runs backwards around his sister at incredible fast speeds, attempting to turn back time around her. So, let's see what happens.
Okay, guys. This is a stop holding back. It's time to talk about scale.
Yeah.
What are we thinking here?
I mean, it's localized. Like, his goal is localized, right? He doesn't want to turn the whole building back. He's just trying to turn back what happened to her.
Right.
So, I wouldn't say
Nobody else but her.
Right, yeah. So, I wouldn't say it's, ultimate, right?
Okay.
It's definitely at least significant. What's the middle one?
No return.
What are the qualifications for no return again?
The qualifications, or the scale of what
the scale, yeah. Like, what is it?
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, replace one theme. On a 10 to 12, mark fade and crack and burn all the power tags in one theme.
Okay. And what's the requirements for that one? Like, how significant is that one?
It's really just about the scale. The way that we've always discussed this is it comes down to the value of what's being gained and what the sacrifice that's being made really kind of determines. There's no clear definition of what the scale means in respect to significant, no return, and ultimate. It's like when we were talking about what Sam did on Wednesday with JP, right? It was clear that it was a no return based on the fact that it was something external to himself. It was something entirely new, and his intent was about taking care of Malcolm versus taking care of himself.
Yeah, right? I think that's what it is. I mean, I would say it's at least significant, unless anyone else has anything else to add there.
Well, you're essentially turning back time.
Yeah,
you're localizing time, but you're turning it back in a way. So significant kind of makes sense, but because it's focused on Catherine, it's feeling like no return to me.
Okay.
Only because it's such a strong emotional event, and if he fails, not only is he going to lose all that, but he's also going to basically lose his sister.
Right. Makes sense.
So, Brahms, Sam, do you guys have any input as to what's going on here?
I mean, I kind of agree that it's a no return because it would be like, no matter what's gonna happen, like a huge end result is, either he saves her or she dies.
It's a huge consequence regardless,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
That's
sense.
the word I was looking for, consequence.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page as well. Just because he's evolving in such a large fashion for the first time, and then considering it's to save his sister, I think it's a necessary a point that he has to hit the no return. Yeah.
Okay, so stop holding back. We'll be at a +2. And let's see what happens.
No whammies, no whammy. Mild success. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you're going to replace one theme.
Okay.
So you need to figure that out. Again, as we were talking about, it does not have to be the theme book that you are using.
Yeah.
Which was a really interesting distinction after we saw Malcolm do it, and then we saw, I think it was Morgan who did it, and now JP has done it recently. So you can go ahead and figure that out. So narrate us through that success. What happens? How does it look?
Man, it looks like a VHS, right? When you could see them actually rewinding. So it's him running backwards, right, in a reverse circle around her, and then you see like she like tumbles in reverse in that slow reverse, and then like her arm kind of goes over, and you like see the burns sort of go back away. And then she like stands up, and you can see like the blast like the clothes ripple, and like you see like a bunch of like debris and shit kind of reverse and like sort of go back. But as soon as they go outside of the circle of Desmond, they just fall to the ground. And then like she begins to like stumble in this awkward like janky movement, and then he's continuing to move around her as she stumbles forward from wherever like the blast threw her. So you see like that like, but like in reverse, so it's like as she's moving forward, and he just continues to go wherever she's getting blasted from until a point where like you see the explosion hit, and then he continues to go a little bit past that, and then like as the explosion's about to hit, he stops and grabs her and like zooms out of the building.
Okay, and so as you get out of the building and you find yourself in that situation where she's just you're out with there, she's like, what the hell? What was going on? Why is the building on fire?
It exploded.
What are you doing here, Desmond?
I'm a superhero. I saved your life. The building exploded. I don't have time for this. There's so many people in there. They're all dying. Sit over there. And like he, in this exasperated tone, he just zooms back into the building, and like right in front of her, she just sees him like disappear.
Is she aware of his abilities at all?
I don't think so. She views him as like a troublemaker, and he's like always like he'd never applied himself to be a cop, but always was obsessed with superheroes and crime fighting, and she just kind of brushed him off as like a kid, and like he would always like get in her way and shit, and like show up to investigations. Yeah, he thought he was cool.
All right, so for the so you're going back and you're going to save other people.
Yeah. Yeah, like basically time's been reset now, and so like now he knows where like the load-bearing walls are, and he's trying to get to at least the group of people that were definitely standing against the wall and like injured, and show them how to leave.
Okay. Roll me a d20. Let's see how many people you save. I'm not gonna, because you've already gotten this stop holding back, and there's this significant event for you. So
4.
You're not a very good superhero.
You know what? I'm a crime fighter. Okay.
Did you just describe yourself as a superhero?
I did just say I literally said I'm a superhero. I saved you, and then I ran into a burning building.
All right. So Connor, you catch all of this going on, and Desmond is able to save 4 more people besides his sister.
And Connor waves over the EMTs to them, like just he's pointing and just go deal with this. And then he while he cleans up and deals with the press and all of the other stuff that's going on, he eventually makes his way over to Desmond, Kath, and the rest of the group. So, okay, so we got 5 people in total out of 50. So, well, it's something. He's being a bit callous at the moment.
You go save him. Use your super speed and go save everyone.
I don't have that ability.
That's what I thought. I'm not actually Superman. I can't save everyone. So many people were already dead. These people could walk. And look at the size of me. I can't pick up a person.
Are you sure? You're a superhero, aren't you?
I don't have super strength. I'm just fast.
Is Kath hearing all this?
Yes.
Okay.
She's just like, she's, you know, kind of going back and forth between the two of you, just kind of sitting there stunned because this conversation is happening, because Desmond has just saved 4 more people in front of her. And she doesn't quite understand. She's still trying to process.
And it's one of those things where it's like, he just appears and like leads another person out, and it's like, gotta go! And he disappears. Yeah. She's like, well, what now?
Good job.
Thanks.
Now it's a matter of damage control, finding out how this happened, and then, you know, making sure they're okay.
Well,
As you're starting to say that, you get a text message, Connor.
What does the text message say?
It's a message from Tamonte, care of Mr. Gallus's number, requesting that you show up to Xanadu as soon as possible.
Connor looks at the phone. Son of a bitch, I don't have time for this. Okay, so, alright. He looks over to the scene and goes to... Are there any other city officials here that would be representative of the mayor's office besides himself?
There are plenty of other people that you recognize, that you coordinate with or work with, but nobody who works directly for the mayor's office.
Okay.
You were the representative of the mayor's office there.
Okay, so he would go to one of those other individuals, like an EMT or something of that nature, a city official. I have an urgent matter I need to attend to. It regards the mayor's well-being and the well-being of the city. I need to do that. So if you can attend to matters here, I'm going to go off and attend to this emergency situation that's arisen. It doesn't require any of you guys. It's just solely specifically relating to the office. So I can handle this. This isn't a problem. So he sees if that's okay with them, and then heads off to Desmond. And then, because he obviously didn't say anything to Desmond yet, so...
No, I would imagine not.
So he pulls Desmond aside and then says, I just got a text from Tamonte.
And?
I'm to go see... Was it for both of us? Was it for Desmond and Connor, or was it just for Connor? Actually.
Connor just got the text, but another one comes in for Desmond.
Okay.
What does it say? Hey man, how you been?
It's a request from Tamonte via Mr. Gallus' phone number that you show up to Xanadu.
Yeah. He looks to Connor and says, take her, and points to his sister, knowing that Connor takes the car.
Okay, fantastic. Will do. Calls the...
Take her to Xanadu?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's asking.
Okay. This is an unusual development.
Johnny, when have you ever played with me and there wasn't unusual developments?
That was not, but this is clearly one that I was not expecting at all. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, good job.
Mike from Unusual Developments at unMadeGaming. That's it's my new title, my business card. I'm printing it out right now.
Speaking of business cards, so Connor would go ahead and say, oh, hey, by the way, Desmond, I had these made for you. And he pulls out of his back pocket, he pulls out a set of business cards. And then he hands them to Desmond and throws them at him.
What do I do with this?
Well, you're to hand them. You can hand them out. You can advertise yourself for, saving people and stuff. Like if they need help, you just give it to a person and on it, and then you they're able to get a hold of you or whatever.
Connor,
And on it, it says, you notice it says Black Nova.
Connor, I know there's a burning building behind us and there's a bunch of people here and I just reversed time, but when have you ever met someone in need of superhero saving that had access to their cell phone and could use it?
He thinks on that for a minute. Whatever, take it as it is.
I appreciate the gesture. And he looks at it, and he's like, you just see like a flurry of cars as he teleports away, or he zooms away, and then he zooms back and catches them all, and he throws one at you, it's Star! And he disappears again.
Connor catches it.
Damn it. Just all again. Damn it. The wind.
So Connor goes ahead and calls an Apollo for the two of them to head to Xanadu.
Okay.
Does Kath have a intimate conversation with Connor about what the hell is going on?
I wouldn't call it intimate. There's probably a lot of yelling involved, and I believe Charlie has been around when Kath has been yelling and screaming, at a particular person. So yeah.
I hate Kath. She should burn and die.
Well, she almost did.
I should have set that building on fire myself.
Maybe secretly it was Charlie. She is the villain that we've been expecting all along.
Yeah, right?
I mean, don't tempt me.
Hey, you know what? You do what you need to do. All right. So, okay. So the both of you arrive eventually at at Xanadu, and the building looks shut down. Like, it looks like it hasn't been open in a couple of nights.
That's weird. Connor he says that.
And so as you arrive, it's about time. It's it's in the evening, and it should be about the time that they would be open, and there should be a line out the door. But the lights are off. The neon lights are off. The building is dim or dark. Only being illuminated by the street lights, and the door is clearly locked.
He knows there's roof access here, right? I would assume everyone has roof access. Yeah, he would kind of leap up and take the fire escape up to the roof access.
You find the doors locked there too.
Well, shit.
In fact, there's a couple of different entrances into the building, and all of them are locked based on your...
He zooms back down, and then, like, just... I assume there's, like, a start of a conversation between Connor and Kat, and he zooms back down, and, like, appears in between the two of them, and then takes a selfie outside of Xanadu, and sends it to that phone number, to Tamonte via...
Mr. Gallows.
Mr. Gallows, yeah.
You hear, or you get a response very quickly. Give me a minute. And so, as the three of you are sort of standing out there, there's this sort of exchange of glares between Catherine and Desmond, and Catherine and Connor, and she looks back at Desmond. Des, what am I doing here?
Well, you were dead, and then I made you not dead. And I'm a superhero, and there's superheroes in the city, and I need you to stop dying. So...
How many times have I died, Des?
Well, that was the first one, as far as I'm aware. One's enough for me. So, if you could not make it a second time, that'd be great.
I wasn't even aware that I died the first time, so, okay.
Great.
Sure.
Keep that up.
And she just kind of takes a step back. I need a drink. And at that, the door opens, and Tamonte kind of looks out and says, "Come on in."
And we go in.
The entire inside of Xanadu is incredibly dark. It is not kept. The entire floor is essentially in disarray. There are bottles still at certain tables. The bar has been not really cleaned up and kept. looks like it was just like it closed suddenly, and nobody has been in there since.
Okay.
And so Tamonte leads you back into Mr. Gallus's office, and as you step in, you know, seated at the desk, sort of leaned over, lightly snoring, is Mr. Gallos at the desk.
I thought you said he wanted us here.
No, I said I wanted you here.
Oh.
What's wrong with him?
He's asleep.
Well, I can see that, but that's clearly not how he's always been. This place should be open and running, and he should be greeting people, and you know, this isn't normal. Clearly, it hasn't been normal for, I don't know, about a month to 2 months. Has it been about that time, Johnny?
So you guys are in fall right now, so yeah, it would be a couple of months since you first met him.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks at you and says, he looks to you and says, "It's not uncommon. It's been a while, but it's not uncommon. However, he needs to be awake. We need you to fix the final problem."
Final problem.
That little job that you did for me back there, my little niece, my little Galen. Remember all that?
Miss Bell, yes.
That when you recovered the horn, there was the problem she couldn't remember. Well, it's a little bit more complicated than I can care to explain right now, but here's what I need to happen. I need you to visit a friend of ours, and I need you to be able to get her fixed. She needs to remember that she loves to play that bell, that horn. She needs to blow that horn.
Since technically we didn't accomplish the job as, you know, we should have, because we weren't given specific information, I guess we have to do this particular thing so that we can get Mr. Gallus back on his feet. When I went to see Hashimoto about my specific abilities, that made good on his promise. So I need to make good on ours and actually fix Miss Bell. And plus, I was told I was a defender of this city, and there's a storm coming, so we're going to need everybody available, and that includes him.
He needs to wake for the storm, absolutely. This is the most crucial thing that you can do.
All right. Desmond, you got any objections? Any input?
Can you keep her safe?
And he looks over at Catherine. She's a cop. She's not one of us. She should be fine.
Well, she was just dead about 15 minutes ago.
Tamonte, do me a favor. Get her a scotch on the rocks. Put it on, use it as my lifetime of drinks for now until I need it.
Lifetime of drinks, I forgot about that.
Yeah, get her a scotch or whatever the hell she wants, because she's going to be dealing with a lot of crap from now on.
And she looks over at you and says, and looks at Desmond and looks at you and says, "What the hell do you mean dealing with a lot of crap? Why should I stay with this? I'm a cop. I've got my gun. I'm going to go take care of myself. I got to get back to that investigation. What the hell happened at that building? What was that explosion all about?"
I don't know. You were investigating something. The whole building exploded. You died. I made you not die. Building is still exploded. I can't do everything. I can't save everybody. Something superheroes. There's a lot of superheroes in the city. Your gun doesn't stop superheroes. Sit here.
Damn it, Des. What? This super You started this one. They're not real.
Superheroes aren't real?
That's what she said.
I was just making sure. That's what she said. Man, I want to see how the mist deals with this. Yeah. Desmond holds his hand up, and then in his hand appears a katana, and then he lets go of it and disappears, and his hand and he just changes weapons every time he closes his hand. And he's like, "No, superheroes aren't real. Superpowers are dumb. They can't teleport and turn back time. No, that's just kid stuff."
So as that's happening, the door opens behind you, and in walks Charlie. And as you're starting to do this, Catherine kind of looks back. Well, what the hell is she doing here?
Oh, that's my date.
Hey, boys.
What's up, girl?
Charlie, what are you doing here?
That's my date.
She got a text from Tamonte as well.
Connor, she obviously can't get enough of me.
I was told to meet you guys here.
Sure.
I didn't know she was gonna be here, though.
You know my sister?
All too well.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a little troublemaker. She's a good friend of. I don't want to talk about that relationship. And she kind of, looks back at Desmond.
Wait, so you two are related?
Yeah, it's my sister.
She's gonna go put her arm around Desmond.
Nice.
I thought you were blind.
So I just told my
Me
sister.
and Black Common are very close.
I'm just gonna change it to Black Comet. I'm just gonna change it. I'm gonna change the whole thing. Rebrand.
And so, Monte looks at Charlie. She says, "I know you've been through a fair bit in the last couple days. Welcome back."
Thanks. It's been a few days.
And he kind of shakes his head. Okay, so are you guys gonna do what I need you to do to help Oscar here?
You just want us to make her play the horn?
No, it's not that simple.
I didn't think
Never
so.
that.
I need you to visit a friend
Okay.
and ask him for a favor.
Uh-huh.
And there's gonna be a fight.
Okay. Got it. I'm in.
We know there's going to be a fight.
Yes. See, a long time ago, I had a little bit of a rebellious streak, and Oscar and I didn't get along. I made some other friends, and while Oscar doesn't necessarily associate or agree with them, this little friend, he should be able to help put things back together because he's got some unique abilities. So I just need you to go and pay him a visit.
Just so we're clear,
Mhm.
you said little friend. He's not a leprechaun, is he?
No, he's quite short, at least to me. But David's 6 feet tall.
All right. So where are we going?
You can find him in a building that you visited before. It's at the Wing Pong Exchange.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. He just sighs. There's not gonna be 3 other people there that have other abilities that relate to weather.
Listen, I don't know who David's running with these days. I just know that he's got a fair bit of an empire going on right now, and I'm going to need you to introduce yourselves, get yourselves through the door. The last time I talked to him, he was dealing with some difficulties of keeping himself together. So I don't know what he's doing to protect himself, but I need you to go visit him and ask him for a favor. But you're going to have to ask him directly. Nobody is going to believe you otherwise.
What's the favor?
He needs to give you a scroll that will help you reunite Galen with her horn.
And we don't expect him to give this to us just by asking.
If you could talk to David directly, that would be great. But, he tends to hide behind, a number of, layers of subordinates who are doing his various biddings and doing his various deals.
All right. So, simple enough. Get an introduction, get scroll, save girl, blow horde, wake up Gallows. Easy.
Just bring the scroll here. I'll have Galen waiting by the time you get back.
All right.
That doesn't seem too hard.
I would assume so, since you've met David's friends before.
Yeah, they were so much fun to deal with the first time.
I didn't get hurt at all at that fight, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was also fine.
This is the only time I got punched in the face and knocked across the room, and then I cut the guy in half. But
I honestly feel like that's a you problem. Maybe just don't get touched next time.
Oh, well, we'll see who does the... Wait. I'm not going to finish that sentence. So, so Connor says, all right, Timonte, we've got this. Let's just keep her plied with alcohol for now. Just leave.
Why is everybody trying to feed me alcohol? Kat says. She's like, "What the hell's going on here?"
He looks.
God, next time I see Roz, I'm gonna give her mine. Like, you shouldn't be hanging out with Roz. And she points at Charlie.
He looks at.
Do you
Connor,
know what's happened to Roz? No, I didn't think so. So maybe you should care a little more and stop acting like such a bitch.
You just see Desmond looking back and forth. He's like, I don't know what to do right now.
Connor just sits there and he's just kind of like, okay. So Timonte, you're gonna want to be plied with alcohol after you figure all this crap out. So, drink the alcohol. We'll be back shortly.
All right. She immediately turns to Timonte. Okay, so what do you got for me? She starts bossing him around.
And we head out.
Okay. All right, so he's giving you the location of the Wing Kong exchange again as where you might be able to find his good friend David.
So I would assume me and Charlie would get into Apollo. I don't know if Desmond would want to do any more scoping out of the place. I mean, we've been there before, but maybe things have changed.
What do you mean by changed?
I don't know. What do you think I mean by changed, Johnny?
I'm asking you what you think you mean by changed.
Like maybe floors have been added. Maybe it's got a different outlook. Maybe there's a glamour. We don't know. We're not.
Are you showing up to the building right now, or are you going to actually do an investigation first?
Well, I had asked Desmond if he was going to do an investigation because he's got super speed, so he can get there before us. Or we can wait and.
That's true. I do have super speed. But first, there's a massive raid from DJ Knight. Usually I don't address these, but that is enormous. DJ, thank you so much for that raid. Guys, we are smack dab in the middle of our 12-hour stream for Extra Life charity. We've already raised almost $190 today. We've raised almost $7,000 for the year so far, so thank you guys for that massive raid. You guys, come in, we're playing some City of Mist, hang out, watch the show, and if you're feeling up to it, donate some money for kids. Check that donation section down below, all the fun stuff you can donate for. And in the vein of that, Johnny, I will let you know what my new theme book is.
Please do.
My new theme book is a defining event, aka the death of my sister. It's called, and I'm a bad person, it's called Blast from the Past. My new power tags are I am driven to met out justice, I have police connections, and great reflexes. Yeah.
Perfect. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I think I'm going to keep my weakness tag the same, though. Often overcommits. That still makes sense.
I absolutely like that idea altogether. Very cool. Very cool. I like it a lot.
Cool. That was insane. Yeah, so I will investigate this building, the Wing Kong Exchange, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna do what do you call it? I'm gonna do a investigate. I'm gonna use super speed,
Okay.
snooping around, and amateur gumshoe to do that.
Great reflexes might apply too, given the circumstances of what you're about to do.
Okay.
Because you do have experience. You do have experience at this building before.
Yeah.
Because you watched Charlie drive her, way in, right? And so you've got a fair idea of what their response was at that point to an immediate threat. You've also got a fair idea of the inside layout of this particular place.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll say that. So I have a 4. Is there any negatives for me?
Yeah. The story tag negatives is upgraded security.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you an investigation. And a great success with a 15.
Holy mother of... All right. Does Desmond have the dynamite for investigate?
No.
Okay. So then you get 3 definitive answers. Use them wisely.
Okay. What is the best way to get into David's office without being seen? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Get everyone into David's office without being seen.
What is the best?
That's 1.
Huh. Okay. Based on what you know about the layout of the building at this point, your experience, David didn't have an office as far as you were aware.
Okay.
But the best way for you to actually enter the building and get to a location where you might think he is would be through the second story entrance, or a second story window that would lead you up to the office section of the Wing Kong Exchange.
Okay. That was question number 1. Question number 2. Man, you guys have any questions? You have any questions we should ask?
How many people are in the building currently?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Yeah.
How many people are in the building? God
Tag
damn it.
implied upgraded security.
Yep. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, gotta love that unstable internet. All right. So, based on the negative story tag upgraded security, from a physical security standpoint, from an actual physical presence, there's at least 3 times the amount of people moving around on the ground floor and the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 4 people, I believe, the first time that you guys went in there. So there are now 12 people on that first floor. Based on that second floor, there is at least 6 people that you kind of are able to locate based on what they're doing inside of that building, looking at windows. You don't have any insight as to what was going on underground and the cache of minions that was the neon dragons.
Mm-hmm.
But you are fairly aware that there's probably a bunch more inside there, probably, based on the amount of security that they've updated and physical security, presence upstairs. There's probably an updated presence downstairs too.
Okay. And the most important question is, what is Charlie's ideal date?
Damn it, Mike. Why do you put me in these positions? I swear to God.
Because I can.
Kung Fu fighting, clearly.
It's my job, Johnny, to torture you on a personal level. Yeah, that's my third question. I need to know so that I can take her on the date. Obviously.
It's probably like fight clubbing and pizza.
Is that just going to a club and fighting everyone there?
Yeah, and then going and getting pizza.
Perfect. Done.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that also what Johnny was going to take her to do? Weren't they going together for that?
Yeah, but he never did, so...
Johnny's 17.
Yeah, he's a baby.
That's
Technically,
illegal.
Charlie's 17.
I'm 18. Excuse me.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
a legal adult. We went
Yeah.
over this with Kath.
Yeah. See, totally fine. Yeah. So those are the 3 clues he comes back with, and he zips back down. He says, "All right, we can go on the second floor. There's so many more people. Like so many more people.
Like, how many people?
Like 30.
Oh, that's nothing. We can do that.
Well, last time there was like 5.
Well, okay. I mean, last time didn't go so well because I kind of drove my car into the building.
Yeah, that's what happens when you can't see and drive.
I can see and drive.
All right. So I can get up there. He can get up there.
I can climb.
I'll carry you.
You don't have to.
Okay.
I'm self-sufficient.
I'm just saying I could do it. I would.
Self-sufficient.
I am very strong.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. I got muscle.
Oh man. All right, let's go. go team.
How are you getting inside, guys?
Through the second story.
Okay.
Apparently we're climbing.
All right. So you get up to the second. You get into the second floor. The window is actually open, and so you're able to kind of slip inside.
You're muted, Mike.
He looks at everyone and says, "All right, that's as far as I got." He doesn't actually have an office here, so we just gotta find him now.
So we went in through the second story, but he could be on the first story.
I mean, I assumed he would be where the offices are. This is where the offices are.
Charlie's gonna listen in to see if she can hear anyone.
Okay. So for everybody else, or for actually even for Charlie, just the description of the room that you walk into is just like a middle management sort of office section. There's a desk, there's some file cabinets, and there's a door. So Charlie, go ahead and give me an investigate roll. What power tags are applying here?
Oh my god, I haven't played her in so long. Where senses the funnest detail, filters out noise, perfect short range target? Yeah? That work? Because I'm looking for a short range target in the building. He's frozen.
Sure, throw it in there. Let's.
Okay, so 3.
God damn it! Yes, do it. Do it 3. It's 3. It's stupid internet.
I'm looking at. I don't think I'd have a sensory overload. I'm not ignoring danger. I'm not exposed. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Put it in minus for some reason. Investigate. 10.
Okay. So you get 3. You have 3. You have 3 clues to spend. Go ahead and ask your 3 questions about what you want to know about the interior of this building and what's going on.
Can I hear anyone on this floor?
Oh yeah, you can hear 6 distinct heartbeats and footsteps moving through the second story.
What's the description of this guy again that you were?
And they're all
The guy we're looking for.
6 feet tall is about all we need. We know, I think, right now.
That's not good enough.
David Lopan.
Well, we don't know Lopan. We just know David.
Does anybody else have a question that my hearing could maybe
answer.
You know what? Do we know that he's old as shit?
Do you know that he's old as shit? Did you do okay? If you want to spend Charlie's clues and ask, if Charlie's okay with it,
yeah, that's fine.
I will give you some background details about David Lopan because you guys did some research, or David, did some research, and yes, it is David Lopan. So, okay, you want to use that as one of the clues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the research, the background. Sorry, what?
So he's old as shit.
So the research that you did found out that David Lopan is the aging sort of like CEO, chairman and CEO of the Wing Kong exchange, a long running operation inside of the city. References to him, dating back some 20 and 30 years, always reference him as old and frail, and that he hasn't been seen a lot in the last 10 years. Is a big point. Other details you find out about the Wing Kong exchange and Lopan is that the business dealings have been sort of consolidating and kind of bringing into sort of a really focused kind of an exchange of very particular um, archaeological or ancient sort of like artifacts and dealing with those types of materials. They apparently have a close relationship with Gold's Acquisitions, another organization inside of the Old Quarter. So that's your second clue. What do you want to do with the third clue?
My suggestion would be, if he's old as shit and your hearing is that good, can you hear an old as shit heartbeat? Like, it would be slower, right? Wouldn't it be? Than everyone else who's young and working in security?
Yes, that one. Let's go with that.
Sorry. Since it was a great success, yes, you would be able to have it. You'd be able to figure out distinctions like that. So as you kind of push yourself into the heartbeats, so you hear 6 heartbeats and footsteps around you. As you're kind of absorbing that, right, and you're getting a general sense of the layout of that second floor based on the sound that's going on around you. So the way that the echolocation is kind of working. As you're pushing yourself to listen even more strongly, even harder, with more effort, you hear 12 heartbeats below you, strong heartbeats. And you hear their footsteps just as strongly. But as you're pushing deeper and deeper into the building, because you know that there's an underground structure, kind of under this building itself, you're getting more and more heartbeats, and it's getting harder and harder to hear to differentiate them or kind of tell if they're weak or strong or that kind of a thing. But as you're pushing forward, you're able to isolate a heartbeat below you somewhere. It's very faint, and you're not sure if it's because the structure is so incredibly big, and there's a lot of concrete between you, or if it's because it's actually an old man's heartbeat.
Okay. So, guys, there's 6 people on this floor. There's 12 people on the first floor, and there's a shit ton below that. And I'm pretty sure whoever we're looking for is lower than the first floor. So we have to defeat 6, then 12, then many.
Or we don't do any of that, and we get to the dragon room, which is on this floor, and then we take the secret staircase from the dragon room down to the sub-basement, where it's full of water and probably full of, I don't know what they were called, like rainbow dragons? I don't know. There was a whole gang down there last time I went there. But don't go in the water, because it's totally full of corpses.
Okay, but also,
Like
get through that without even touching the water, because I don't do well in aquatic situations.
Well, couldn't you just run across the water, Desmond, without carrying her?
I'm more concerned that you're concerned about the water and not the fact that it was full of corpses.
I just don't do well in aquatic situations.
Okay, I don't think we have to touch the water. The water connects from one room to an elevator, and if we don't use the elevator, we'll be fine. But if we go through the secret entrance in the dragon room and go all the way down, remember that time we fought the guys? And then we go all the way down there, and that's where the gang came from, and that's where I was.
Didn't you become one of those gang members?
I did. Yeah, I had to hide because they would have fought me, and I can't fight all of them.
You can't. I mean, I could fight all of them.
There was like 100 of them.
That sounds like a day in a park.
What am I, Neo?
I mean, you could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know your life.
You're a superhero.
That'd be dope.
Yes.
That'd be super dope. All right, let's go.
Let's do this.
So, we've all been there before, so we're only going to retrace our steps back to the room with the giant dragon statue in it. As Johnny plunges into the tundra and freezes. Oh, you're there. You were just not moving for a long time.
I know it was. I heard the roboting happening. It's like this was all right. You know, I should go back to home where my internet is actually better now. Okay, so you step out, so for Charlie again, you recognize that there are 6 people on this particular floor and they're moving in a pattern. Are you guys trying to take them out, or are you going to move in a way that allows you to get through quickly? Because remember, only one of you actually technically has super speed.
Yeah, but I can be stealthy.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can you?
I can try.
I have subversion, so I technically can be as well, because I'm technically the name of the theme is one with the shadow.
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, they'll be stealthy, and I'll
And
be
he'll-
fast.
Yeah, and he'll run and he'll end up on the other side and just wave at us.
Yeah, I know. He'd be like, bypass danger.
Yep. So yeah, I think
Okay.
that's the plan. They're going to be stealthy, and I'm going to be fast.
All right, so let's start this one at a time. Desmond, since you're the fastest, you get to go first.
Cool, that makes sense. Great reflexes, super speed, act just before it happens, and that's it.
All right, so explain to me how you're doing this narratively before we actually make this roll.
So yeah, he doesn't know where they are. He just knows that there's people here. So essentially, he's going to be as fast as possible.
Okay.
To basically be a blur, right? So like he wants to be like a whoosh, a sound on the wind, and the act before it happens kind of comes in like, so if he gets there and sees a person, he has enough time that he just reroutes himself in a different direction in a way that they don't see him, and that's it. That's combined with his great reflexes.
Okay, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Charlie, would you elaborate on and letting them know where these individuals are so that he can move quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, then he would
So
just
we're gonna call
avoid
that a
him.
positive story tag
Okay.
for each of you in this role. That you're going to have that knowledge.
Okay. Dope.
Alright.
So are we calling this a sneak around, I guess?
I would assume so, unless you want to try something else.
Okay. You got any negatives for me?
The only negative would have been the enhanced security, but not only because you guys have an awareness, but because Charlie, was able to do that with a great success, you actually get a positive story tag versus it getting just canceled out completely.
Cool. All right,
Works in your favor.
let's do this. Sneaking around with a +4.
Go for it.
I'm
Motherfucker.
the man.
All right. So describe to me what you do. So your target is to get back to the elevator. Is that correct?
No, to get to the dragon room.
To get to the dragon room itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the elevator just goes down to water, right? It was second floor, first floor, water pit. I went down there the first time, swam through the water, found the rainbow dragons, went up the stairs, and ended up in the second floor with the dragon room.
Okay. So the thing is that you're not going to get easily all the way to the dragon room again, based on the fact that the security has kind of changed. You can get down to the stairs below the first floor through basically the 18 security guards between the first and the second floor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so past that point, you guys, it's going to be either another rule or another plan of some kind for you guys.
So what's the deal with the why can't we get to the? Do I know why we can't get to the dragon room? Other than the fact that there's like security guards?
Because there's a shit ton of more security, or there's a shit ton more of neon dragons, sort of like in your way in that direction.
Oh.
And the moment that you get to that stairway where it leads down,
Yeah.
you're going to figure that out.
Oh. Okay.
So either you can describe narratively getting to that point, or I can describe narratively what's going to happen for you. But the result is that you're going to get to the top of the stairs, and you're going to realize that there is a shit ton more of these guys down there than there were last time.
I think that's what he's gonna do. Right? He's gonna get there and then realize it, and then you go nuts and tell me what happens.
Okay, so when you zoom back and forth between these individuals, as Charlie has basically told you where you're going to go, or where their presence are essentially in the building, we see Desmond sort of darting in and out of doors and around corners, and just kind of moving in such a way that he's a blur for a second, but nobody can really kind of tell where he is. Given that great success, none of these security guards ever become aware. A couple things that you notice as you're kind of moving through, though, are a little bit more heavily armed. They're wearing what looks to be body armor of some kind. It's not like just flak vests or flak jackets. It's more. There's more body armor going on there, protecting these sort of vital areas. And they're definitely heavily armed. They're all carrying semi-automatic weapons along with handguns on their side.
Okay.
And so, as you're kind of zooming through, you kind of get all this information, just kind of that it's a heavy presence, there's a heavy security presence upstairs.
Yeah, I guess he would. So, I mean, on a great success, I guess he would get to the dragon room, right, and realize that that's not going to work, and then go back.
You would get to the top of the stairs where there is, and you would hear a mass of noise,
right,
indicating that there's a fair amount of people.
Right, yeah. Now, so he'd go back.
Right, he probably hit the top of the stairs at that particular point.
Yeah. I would say he would go back to Charlie and Connor, and let them know that plan A was not going to work.
So then, what are we doing?
I don't know. The only other way I know to get down there is to swim.
Can we take out the guys?
There's a lot.
How many?
I don't know.
I only heard 6.
There's a lot, more than 6.
That's literally impossible. I only heard 6 heartbeats.
Maybe they're ninjas and they can slow their heart rate.
No, that's not what's going on, Sam or Charlie. You heard 6 heartbeats on that second floor. You heard 12 heartbeats on the next floor, and you heard a mass of heartbeats under the ground.
Yeah, but I thought the dragon room was on floor 2.
It is, but once we get the stairs go down to the massive heartbeats.
That's what he was explaining. Yeah, he went down the stairs, saw the massive heartbeats, and was like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
And went upstairs.
Did you see a really old guy?
I didn't.
Okay.
I saw easily 100 dudes.
Are they the dragons with the jackets?
They look like them.
To the neon dragons, yes.
I mean, why don't you go infiltrate them again?
I don't have the jacket anymore.
You could steal. You're fast enough to just rip them off of people, and then we could join them.
Somebody would notice if I tore a jacket off their body.
Well, take the entire person and bring them up here, and we'll knock them out.
Why does everyone want me to carry everybody? This is how this works.
I mean, you offered to carry me.
Yeah, because you're a pretty girl. Duh.
Well, just take the pretty boys.
I don't know what that means.
Find the one boy that looks most like a girl and take that one.
Okay. That's not going to be 3 of those, though.
Okay, but take one for me so I can have that jacket, and then find 2 of the less pretty boys and take them for yourselves.
Right.
And then we'll knock them out or kill them or whatever we have to do and infiltrate the dragons. The rainbow dragons.
Okay. I mean, this seems like a sound plan. Connor, you have any input on this?
Where is it with you guys in the part of these descriptions, man? Poor Black Comet. I mean, Black Nova. I mean, Black Star.
Connor, I feel like you work for the mayor. You should have some kind of input here. You seem like a smart guy.
So I don't know. The problem is with infiltrating them. It's a good idea, but I don't know if would they notice with that many people, and then we still don't have a location on David Lincoln, which is also a problem. So I mean,
this is the only plan we have, though.
It's true.
Unless you come up with a better one. I'll give you 5 minutes. Take. I'll be.
He sits there, takes the 5 minutes. Nope. Don't got anything.
You see Desmond's leaning on the wall, and he's so cheese pizza, or a pepperoni, or a buff chicks. What are we talking about?
What do you like?
It's weird, but I'm a fan of pineapple with pepperoni. Not the pineapple with ham, but
I've had the pineapple and ham, but I've never had pineapple and pepperoni. Did you know some
Yeah, well
people
done.
think it's like a crime to put pineapple
Yeah,
on pizza?
those are stupid people. They're clearly supervillains.
Clearly.
Yeah.
We should arrest everybody who doesn't like pineapple on pizza.
What if we put them all in one room and fight them?
I mean, that wouldn't be that bad.
Isn't that similar to what we're trying to avoid doing with this mess?
Are you telling me that the people down there don't like pepperoni? I mean, don't like pineapple on pizza?
Maybe.
I mean, that's why we should infiltrate them, take them all out, and
Because
then...
I'll fight them. I'll for sure fight them.
So we're doing my plan. We're taking one by one and stealing their jackets. And...
We'll do the one by one and try to infiltrate. It's the best thing I've got to come up with right now, other than discussing pineapple on pizza.
Cool. Perfect. I'm going in. So, Johnny, what I'm going to do here, or try to do here, is instead of having to roll fucking sneak around 90 times, we know I'm able to sneak around. I'm going to roll change the game to try to create these disguises, like to go
Great success.
get these.
You got it. Okay.
All right, cool. So I'm going to... I think I'm basically going to use the same shit, right? So, great reflexes, super speed. I guess act before doesn't happen, doesn't really count here. I'm going to use dodge. Yeah. And then Charlie's ability to know where people are, right? So that's a story tag.
Yep.
So it's a 4 to do change the game, unless you got some negatives for me.
Because of that great success and everything that you have so far, no, there's no negatives coming at you at this point.
Cool.
So you're doing pretty good right now.
Cool. So I think I can create story tags with that, right? I forget what the hell they do. Yeah, so I'm going to create...
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to create Lady Disguise, Connor Disguise, Desmond Disguise. Actually, I have to get enough of a disguise. I think they were all dudes, weren't they? Everyone in the
They were all dudes,
yeah.
yes.
So we have to get Charlie to be disguised as a dude.
You gotta bring me a hat, like a really cool hat.
Yeah, so I fight a hat guy. He has a trucker hat that has, I don't know, some name on it. This is like Miami Vice. And the fourth one, I will. I'll bank the fourth one.
Trucker guy named Jack Burton, by any chance?
Yeah, he's down there. I forget what his hat says, but it's that hat. Yeah, so everyone has a disguise, and I'll bank 1 juice.
I'm seriously concerned about this. Okay, so that juice is going to apply until you get to the dragon room. That would be the next scene.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that you understood that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now that you've got those disguises in place, what are you doing?
So I can easily get down there. I think they need to sneak around.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yep. So who's going first? Me, I'm assuming.
If you guys want, since you guys are dressed all the same, it would be possible for you to, I guess, it would be possible for you to all, to kind of, sort of work this together. So we can basically call it, they're like an assist or a group roll. So whoever wants to roll better, whoever thinks they've got better tags, and we'll just add a +1, as an assist, and that person will do the roll. It'd be basically like a group roll in this particular case. Does that work?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to see here. So I could do miraculously sneak in and out of anywhere, creep without a sound, athletic, calm in the storm since it's a tense situation. You're infiltrating a bunch of guys.
Oh, you're infiltrating? You make that sound so dirty, man.
Yeah, I did that.
Hey, man, listen, I'm really uncomfortable about the things that you say on my streams when we're playing games together, buddy.
Fair enough.
All right, so all that sounds good. And then just add 1 for Charlie's assist.
Okay, let me actually take it off now because I wasn't sure who was actually going to roll this. There we go. Athletic. So that should be 5 in total.
That's correct.
So that's going to be a sneak around, yeah.
Sure.
17. I sneak all the things.
Charlie
Yeah.
casually walks there.
Is it one of those scenes like what was that movie? What was the movie where the person just was walking through the scene and they just basically they knew where everything was going to happen at the time, and so they just kind of timed it perfectly. It was almost like a dance. They would like come around a corner and like that person would just kind of vanish for a second, and then
I'm sure it happens in a lot of movies, but
Shut
that's
up.
exactly what's happening with Charlie.
Shut up, Sam.
It looks
Shut up.
effortless, just casually walking.
And so I'm assuming, Connor, because you rolled the roll, you're just kind of following Charlie's lead because it looks really awesome?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Totally okay.
And so the three of you eventually kind of, navigate your way, Desmond just getting there very quickly, Charlie and Connor just sort of doing this dance of like coming around, kind of holding up against the wall, coming back, just moving your way through the second floor and then down to the first floor and then down to the stairway for the heading towards the dragon room. And so the three of you are now seated or at the top of the stairs there.
Did Desmond just run there?
Yep.
When Charlie casually gets to the end, she winks because she didn't have to do anything to hide.
Swoons.
Okay, so we head down the stairway?
Yeah.
Okay, so you begin to move your way down the stairway, and you realize almost immediately that something is different.
Is there not 100 guys down there?
So as you begin to get towards, you get farther, you go down the stairs. There's a turn that you remember from the previous, but when you get down to the essentially what would be the landing, where that would be the balcony, the room has been changed significantly. There is what appears to be the dragon is gone. It no longer kind of wraps around the room. There is this sort of weird sort of Buddha thing, monstrosity, some sort of distorted Buddha statue that you're basically coming to into the vision of, and the balcony is no longer there.
Yes.
Continue stairway that lead down into the middle of the room. And instead of it looking like there's the four pillars that were there, and then there was the statue in the center where you found Egg previously, the floor is just sort of changed into sort of more like a fighting kind of a ring kind of a style thing. And there's definite there's like training going on and other things, and you see that there is a bunch of neon dragons just kind of working there. You're hidden in such a way right now that they can't actually see you. Because you're at the top of the stairs, but clearly the room is filled with, at a glance, it appears to be 50 neon dragons who are doing various types of training and stuff.
Okay. So Connor goes in and just casually makes his way over to our, when we're seeing the training, we're trying to be inconspicuous. Do we see are there any heavy bags or anything around?
Any heavy bags? No, you don't see any heavy bags. There's a lot of the I don't remember what they're called. They're the wooden they're the wooden structures that are that have the various sort of poles that are coming out of them, or implements that are coming out of them for martial arts training, right?
Okay.
And you see a lot of that going on, and then you see basically a couple of sparring circles, basically that are just filled, that are a circle of neon dragons who are training, and they're training unarmed, and then there's a couple of people training with actual blades and different kinds of other weapons, pole arms, and that kind of a thing.
Okay. Connor goes over to one of the wooden training dummies and starts mimicking a kata movement, sparring against the wooden man. if that's
Okay.
that's what they were called, is like a wooden man, and he's casually surveying the room to see if he sees anybody who would be fitting David Lopan's elderly description.
There is nobody fitting his elderly description. But there, again, as the room has been modified and changed, you also see that there. Desmond discovered an entrance that led up into it from what was sort of like an underground sort of barracks area. Instead of there just being one entrance now, where that location was, Desmond, there's a second one that's sort of leading off in the other direction. And so now there are multiple locations for you to kind of explore in this particular situation.
Okay.
You're muted.
Damn it! They're called Mukyangjong. They're wooden man dummies.
What are they called?
Mukyangjong.
Mukyangjong.
Yep.
And they're basically described as wooden dummies.
Yeah, the literal meaning is wooden man post.
Wooden man post. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to remember that. I've never actually heard that description or the use of the words.
I don't think anyone's ever said it. I don't know. I just Googled it.
Good job, Google.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Sage.
Yeah,
Don't forget it's Sage.
You saged it. So you said there's several more doors?
Yes. Oh, there's two more. There's another door. There's a second door. There's the door to the barracks and the door to the other ways.
Now, can one just simply enter the more doors?
I mean, you could try opening it.
Nobody got it.
Thanks for someone
was
catching that
terrible
joke.
Fucking, oh my god, you were so...
Thanks for someone getting that joke.
No, I got it. I just didn't want to acknowledge it, you bastard.
One does not simply enter more doors.
You don't have to reinforce the joke either.
Yes, I
damn it.
did. It was funny the second time.
He's just laughing at him.
Yeah.
We're done.
This happens in game. No. So there's one more door that leads in a different direction.
Yes, they're in the opposite direction.
Okay. I think Desmond kind of looks to Charlie and says, "Hey, can you hear the old man's voice?"
Charlie listens in. She's gonna roll.
Okay.
And investigate, I guess. Senses the finest details, filters out noise, perfect short range target. Yeah, just those three. And my plus, right? That I have the powered tag because I rolled so well earlier.
That is correct.
But I guess
that is the last time that this is going to apply.
Okay.
Given that now the noise level and the circumstances of everything that's going on around you is.
I was gonna
is
say,
latent.
because like the only thing that I could think would be a negative would either be like sensory overload because there's so many people, or exposure because I'm not a boy.
Well, okay, so I should clarify. There are female neon dragons there.
Then
There are female training. So
she's gonna glare at Desmond and be like, "You brought me a boy's costume, and there are girls here."
I grab the ones closest to the door.
Okay, I believe you. So 4, right? Okay. 13.
Holy shit.
Get 4 questions.
You get 4 clues. Yeah. Use it.
Can I hear the old man's heart or voice?
You cannot hear his heart because there's so much of a flurry of you're getting inundated with more sounds. It's not just heartbeats, right? And it's not just footsteps. There's a lot of breathing going on. You're hearing the slapping of skin against skin in unarmed combat, right? You're like some of the punches landing kind of like that. You're hearing sort of metal on metal scraping or metal on sort of like on armor and that kind of a thing. You're hearing the slap of hands against the wooden combat dummies. I can't remember that fucking phrase right now, Sage. and then you're hearing more of a cacophony of noise, of the same types of noise coming from the barracks side. So you're not able to easily pick out the heartbeats as much because there's so much going on. However, you are able to get some distinct voices because there are very few people actually speaking, and there's a definite older voice down towards the new sort of entrance, the second entrance that you found before, like that is new for this particular room.
Okay. Does anybody have a question they want to ask? Because I have 4.
Has anybody picked up on us, or are we still looking pretty inconspicuous to everybody?
No, you're at a point where you're still pretty hidden at this point, so that's working in your favor right now. I don't know how long that's going to last, depending upon what you guys do next, or if you leave for inaction. But for right now, nobody is noticing you, and nobody is coming down towards you.
So I'm thinking you're hearing a bunch of people training, right? And people sometimes talk when they train, and these are undisciplined gang members. So maybe why are they training?
Why are they training? Yeah, that's the one.
They are clearly training for a fight. What I mean by that is obvious that from the way that they're talking, they're working on coordinating for close combat. In what is expected to be some form of an attack.
Are they gonna fight the clowns? Fucking clowns.
I don't know. You tell me. Are they gonna fight the clowns, Mike?
I don't know, man. We have 1 week to find out.
I forgot about that.
I didn't. It was awful. You got 2 more questions?
Yep.
Yes.
I got nothing.
Yeah, same.
Okay, I'm willing to allow you to bank them for a little while until you get to a scene where there's a confrontation of some kind.
Okay. Unless we avoid confrontation, and then...
I would be very curious to find out. I mean, you guys haven't gotten into a fight yet. I've been really impressed. I mean, we are an hour and 45 minutes into this one shot, and there hasn't been a single punch thrown. Charlie, I'm a little disappointed in you.
Do you want me to punch Desmond right now?
It's like a love tap.
Sure.
It's a love tap at that point.
She's very strong.
Like, no, I mean, it's because you're in love with Desmond. It's a love tap.
I never said Charlie was in love with Desmond.
So, all right, we'll bank those 2 questions then. And then we're headed towards the other door, right? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Well,
Connor's picking up on if you guys are moving towards it, because he's practicing against the dummy to maintain being inconspicuous.
Yeah.
But he's clearly watching you guys and your movements.
I think that's what Desmond kind of does. Is he does some of the karate moves, and then he turns and moves to the next one. He's like basically you're dancing across a ballroom, but he's karateing across the training grounds.
Yeah, Charlie
Okay.
just walks over.
That makes sense. And Desmond? And Connor, rather?
Connor would take Charlie's lead and just walk over, because I think it would be a little bit more conspicuous to karate my way across the room. But this is Desmond we're talking about here, so, you know.
Is Desmond moving at super speed, or is Desmond
No, he's moving at casual, regular guy speed.
Blows the thing up because he's saying it so fast.
All dressed up as city guards.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Okay, so the moment that you step...
Oh, you're back.
What?
You're back.
I hate you.
Your internet.
So, the moment that you guys begin to move down into there, a couple eyes sort of come onto you, and as Desmond starts doing the whole karate sort of robot thing, you're attracting a little bit more attention.
Dope.
And as the 3 of you get to the bottom of the stairs, one of the neon dragons kind of walks up and says, "Is there a problem upstairs?"
I don't know.
Then what are you guys doing down here?
Training.
Yeah, you guys have machine guns and armor. What you... Hold on a second.
All right.
You off to somebody who clearly is running what's going on the floor.
Wait, we have machine guns?
Yeah, I took these guys' clothes. Right. That's what I thought.
You took machine guns, right? You took
No,
machine guns.
I took Neon Dragon's armor. Did you get Neon Dragon's clothes?
Oh,
That's why we blend in with these guys.
I'm sorry. Well then, okay, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So you guys are walking down. No, I assumed something else based on the way that you described that.
No.
Okay, so you walk down there and the interaction is definitely different. So the guy walks up to you and he says, "What were you guys doing upstairs? What's going on up there?"
You know.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you see here, I kind of like this guy, and I know it's not totally like normal, but like we were just upstairs talking, and then he reminded us it's training time, so we came back downstairs. I'm so sorry. Like it was so unprofessional. I know.
Nailed it.
And kind of looks at you. Okay, well then get in line. Get over there. There's a sparring circle right over there. Why don't you guys go get involved over there?
All right. Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Cool. We're on it.
Where's the water cooler? I'm just like parched right now.
He points to there's a barrel and there's like a big sort of like spoon thing that you would like scoop up water and just kind of drink from.
Gross.
And it's clearly on the far side of the room towards the barracks.
Oh, thanks.
On the opposite side of the room from where we are.
Mm-hmm. And the opposite side of the room of where you're trying to go.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll go get some immediately.
I'm assuming that the three of you are moving over that direction.
I think we don't have a choice now.
Good job, Charlie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Desmond froze, so I just had to say something.
No, that was perfect. Yeah, so... and, like, he goes to high-five the guy when Charlie goes to go get water. No? All
The guy
right.
kind of looks at you and he just gives you this sort of hard stare. Get over there.
All right. And he starts to walk over towards the training circle. All right, well, that didn't go as planned. Okay.
Clearly not.
All right, so...
Charlie meets him over by the training circle.
What if the whole room magically filled with fog?
I feel like that would set it off. Like, us, they're already suspicious of us.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
And I would want to be on the other side of the room before we did that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be like chaos, right? Everybody would be bumping into each other and they wouldn't notice if we disappeared.
I mean, it wouldn't affect me at all.
But it would affect all of them. That's the point.
Here's the thing, Desmond. Can you move fast enough without anybody... Clearly you can move fast enough without anybody seeing you, but...
Yeah. Go on.
Go on.
Do we
Should
want...
Go
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We actually want to rouse their suspicions that much.
What if we give up life as vigilantes and become rainbow dragons?
Really? You'd want to do that?
No. That was also sarcasm.
Should we maybe get in the fighting ring once before we do anything so that they're less suspicious of us?
Hey, you wanted to know what our perfect date would be. I'm sure this would probably be it.
That is a good date. I would like to
You want to
punch.
fight me?
I could fight you, but no, I don't want to fight you. I want to fight everyone else here. Sometimes even Connor.
Could you fight me though? I think
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I would be able to fight you. I didn't say I would win. I just said I would be able, physically capable of fighting you.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Plus, I'd let her win anyway.
Charlie's gonna like step into the ring.
All right, so there's a fight going on between two of the Neon Dragons of a really
Mm-hmm. It's really.
Short woman who was just kicking the hell out of some sort of muscular guy. She was just kind of moving in and nailing punches, and she just takes him down within 30 seconds. He goes down, and she steps back into the ring, and before somebody else can move up, Charlie, you step in.
Yeah, I step in front of the entire line.
Well, it's like it's a circle, right? It's just like they're stepping in for
Yeah,
practice.
no, yeah.
And so you just step in before anybody else actually can. And as you kind of you're doing that, the ring is kind of looking at you because you're definitely a newcomer.
Yeah, I'm also a really short woman as well.
Right.
I'm like 5'2".
Yes.
Yeah. What does she do?
Oh, are you waiting for her to come back to the ring? Because she stepped out back to the outside of the ring.
Oh, is someone else gonna step in?
I thought Desmond was going to fulfill that sort of.
I don't know. I wasn't actually. I was whatever. I was gonna fight anyone.
Okay. Well, since nobody sort of steps up, the young woman kind of steps back in, kind of cracks her neck and kind of looks at you and smiles.
Charlie mimics her and smiles as well.
When you mimic her, she just kind of she gets all serious.
Yeah.
And she's she raises her fists.
Charlie doesn't do anything.
Really?
She waits.
Charlie's such a badass. So the woman's like, and she just kind of moves in close, and she kind of tries to make you she tries to move get you to flinch.
I don't flinch.
Okay. And she's slowly kind of moving around. She's moving inside of the circle, continuing to just kind of try to get you.
I'm gonna hit her with all I got. I'm gonna first take both my hands, and clap it on her ears, and then I'm going to hit her across the face. With
wow.
Sense of finest detail, perfect short range target, martial arts, outgoing agility, fear is a weapon, because I'm not scared of her.
Okay. There is one story tag that is actually in play against you, and that is skilled fighter.
Well, I'm a skilled fighter.
Yeah, she's the badass of the ring here.
I'm the badass of the city.
Stuff.
Of stuff. All right. Great success.
Great success. Okay. So describe to us, Charlie, as she's just kind of, flinching forward and kind of, making her move in. Describe what happens when you hit her, and then we'll talk about what the damage is.
Forward, and I take both my hands and I clap it over her ears, and then she falls back a little bit, and then I hit her across the face. Okay.
So let's see. With that, that's a tear. Oh Jesus. Okay.
I would like to knock her out if that's possible.
Okay, so with 4 power tag, that means she's going to take a tier 4 status. She's going down. She's out.
Yeah.
Okay, so in addition to that, you get to choose 2 of the following.
Okay.
You can secure yourself in a superior position.
Mm-hmm.
You get them good or get many of them. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention, or you can get the upper hand and take 1 juice. So you get to choose 2 of these, and you could. To me, it seems like juice might be your best option here.
I'm gonna take 1 juice, and
okay.
I'm going to take the collateral damage one as well, because I don't want too many people to think this is too strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be that's weird. I want people to know I'm a superior fighter, clearly, but I don't really want people to take too much attention to me.
Okay. All right. So
and I just brush off my hands and walk out of the ring.
And there's a lot of exchanges of glances as one of the neon dragons just kind of pulls her out and kind of drags her over, and there's a little bit of conversation and talk about what just happened. But you guys are left alone for the moment as you leave the ring.
Well, boys, I think we fit in fine here.
Good job, Charlie. And Johnny, do we see that the way is clear for us to advance up to the new hallway, or are they still kind of milling about?
Well, there's all kinds of people milling about, but you can definitely get there. Nobody. Charlie has clearly secured, your quote unquote respect or your clout, your reputation in the room. So.
Okay. So, I think we would head to the stairway.
Okay. And so as you're kind of moving across and getting to the stairway, you're hearing little bits and pieces of more information that fill in the blanks about what Desmond was asking in respect to, what they were training for. Apparently, there's a bit of conflict going on between the Wing Kong Exchange and a particular library in the Old Quarter, and that they're going to mount a very particular attack against this very particular library in the next couple of days because there's some information that David Lopan needs.
Has anybody else got anything on that? Want to comment on that?
You still, I believe there are two clues that you still have banked on that.
We still do have, before we get into
So we know they're mounting an offensive against the library?
Against the library.
What are they looking for? Because, I know what that library is. They're looking for a what?
I'm sorry, what? You said you know what that particular library is?
Yeah. What are they looking for? Was the question.
They're looking for a particular weapon, a sword, based on what's being exchanged. Because what they're training for is they're training to. They're all training specifically, as far as you can tell, to take on one particular individual, while a separate team is going to go off and acquire this particular weapon that is located as a part of the sort of there's a display, like a curated museum display inside of there. That's what they've been told.
Okay. Sword in a library. We know where David is. Right? We found him?
Yes.
Okay, so we found David. We know they're mounting an offensive. We know it's for a sword. One more question. Unless anyone has another question, my suggestion would be, what do the Rainbow Dragons think the sword is for?
To heal Lopan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
I guess I'm gonna use my juice to. I can use that for a story tag, right?
You can definitely use it as a story tag. Is there something that you'd like to acquire from this particular scene?
Just for us to get. We're going through that other door, right?
Yeah, you're going through the other door where you heard the faint old man's voice.
Yeah, I want to use that as undetected, just to get across the room and in through the door.
So you don't want anybody to take notice of you is basically what you're trying to get to.
Yeah, just get there undetected.
Okay, so as you're kind of moving through the room, nobody else really pays attention to you, and so as you step forward, as you get sort of through the room and get forward into the other side, there's a bunch of conflict of different sparring going on, and nobody really kind of pays attention to you, and so you're able to get there. And what you find when you get there is there's a ramp leading down.
Are we all able to follow her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we follow you down to that ramp. Where does the ramp go?
You want to super zoom down?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll run down quickly and see what it is.
Okay, I'm not going to have you do an investigate roll because this is going to be pretty straightforward. So when you get down there, you come down to essentially a corridor that splits off in 3 different directions. It takes you down a couple of floors based on how long it goes. In one direction is a series of doors, like to the left. You go down that hall really quick. There's a series of doors that are kind of in the walls. There's like 3 doors on each side, and then that hallway just sort of ends. You come zooming back, and you go to the other side, and there appears to be a series of storerooms just kind of off to the side there. Basically open doorways where there's just a bunch of stuff sort of stored. And you get back to you go down to the one that goes leading forward instead of left or right. And there's an ornate door with some sort of design, and then there's like a weird sort of like Buddha thing, like a facade of like a face, inlaid at the top of the door.
Okay. Yeah, he zooms back quickly and tells them, and then they just, I guess, casually walk back down, right? Because we didn't see any people down there.
You didn't see any people? No.
Yeah. He gets to the door once everyone's down there, and he kind of looks at Connor and says, story and ancient history, that's kind of your thing, right?
Yeah, but this is Chinese history.
What's the difference?
He just kind of looks at Desmond and just shakes his head a little bit, sighs. My ring is Japanese. It's nothing to do with Chinese.
Listen,
totally different
I
words.
just know that anytime I go to a restaurant, it's Chinese and Japanese cuisine. I assumed they were very close together.
Totally different.
I know they're different places, but like, either way. You know anything about this guy, Buddha?
Can I do an investigate on it, Johnny, and try and glean anything from it?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. I have a 0 anything for. Let's see. Tracking. Yeah.
Is Connor the right person to be doing this one? I'm just out of curiosity.
Really isn't, because I have no investigation skills. But just saying.
Perfect. I do, I guess. I can look at it. I mean, I can investigate it physically, right? Like, I don't know the history and shit of this thing, but...
You would know the history, but you can investigate it and see what you can find out.
Yeah. I'll give you an investigation, if you'd like. I only have... I'm gonna try this one. So I'm gonna use Snooping Around, Amateur Gumshoe, and then I am gonna pull this out and say driven to met out justice, right? Like, I know that I had to get this David Lopan guy to bring justice to the world.
Bring great justice.
Bring great justice. So 3 for investigate.
Okay.
Cool. Mild success. Okay. Question number 1. How do I open this door?
It appears to have a door, a lock, but there's no door handle, and
Okay.
it's this big sort of like ornate like keyhole where there's where you insert the key.
Okay. What bad things happen when I open this door? Or does it look like bad things will happen if I open this door?
No.
Okay. All right, here's a good one for you. What is the relative size and shape of the key required for this door?
It looks like a warded key. So, something about the size of a dagger, a small dagger, 6-inch dagger.
Yeah.
But it's clear that the teeth on this warded key are going to be quite large. Almost seems like something that would be really easy to pick if you knew how to pick warded locks.
Okay. So he turns around and goes, all right, this is clearly a magic door. You need to put in some kind of knife to open it. I can do this, but it's not going to be the right knife, and something bad's probably going to happen.
I mean, Yes.
It's one vote.
So he's gonna go and he's gonna take like about 5 to 10 steps back, and he's like, "Yep."
Cool. So I get real close to the keyhole and try to look and see the shape of this dagger key. And then I put my hand up and close my fist, and then Tsubaki transforms into the dagger, and I jam the dagger in there and try to turn it. It's
Charlie also backs up like further than Connor.
Yeah. It's not going to be the right dagger, Johnny, but...
So is this a change the game or take a risk?
I think this is a take a risk.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm really glad that you said that. I was going to be really concerned otherwise.
Yeah, so like the main thing is like Desmond thinks this is going to explode, right? Or something. So I'm going to use great reflexes because I'm preparing to like put this in and then get out of there, right? He knows it's the wrong key. He's not that stupid. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use act just before it happens. Transform into any weapon and super speed.
Okay, so has Desmond ever in his life ever had to pick a lock before?
No, that's why he didn't want to pick the lock. He just wanted to turn her into a similar key.
Okay, great. So complex lock is going to be one of the negative story tags.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Charlie stands directly behind Connor in case something happens.
All right, so this is a take a risk. Mild success.
Mild success.
It happens
All right.
somehow.
It happens somehow. So you take Sabaki and you just kind of insert it in there, and you're kind of wiggling around with it, and eventually you hear a pop and a click, and the door slowly opens slightly.
Yeah. Yeah, he slides it in, and he's like, "All right, can you like change shape while you're in there?" No. Okay. What if you figure out what size it is, and then I'll pull it out, and then you change shape again? No. Okay. Well, then fuck it. And he turns the thing.
So the door pops open, and you kind of look back and you smile, and that's when you realize that there's something right behind Charlie and Connor that he didn't see kind of showing up. When you look at it, it's kind of strange. It's sort of like a ball, and it's hanging in the air, and there's a big eye.
Piece of shit.
And then there's another eye, and then there's another eye, and then it licks with its tongue, and there's an eye at the end of its tongue, and it's just kind of looking at you all.
Does Charlie and Connor see this yet, or is it just Desmond seeing this?
Just Desmond seeing it.
I would whisper in Connor's ear, like, "Is he dead yet? Did he die? I didn't mean for him to die, but I just didn't want to die either."
I don't think he's dead yet.
Yeah, so you hear like the click of the door open, and he turns around and he's like, "Oh shit, that's gross!" And he's like staring right at the two of you.
And Connor's like,
"Tomato monster!" And he points.
As you turn around, you see this thing that's just sort of like staring at you intently, and it's starting to hover back a little bit. Charlie, you hear a little bit of an exchange going on behind the door that Desmond just opened, and there's a little bit of excited voices.
Charlie's gonna run towards Desmond and get away from whatever the fuck this thing is.
He sees you run and he goes, "I'll save you."
So, Connor, as you're kind of looking around at this thing, and Charlie just sort of takes off, it's moving towards you now. Very.
Bye.
There's something in.
Very slowly.
Did I robot out again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So as Charlie moves forward and just kind of running that particular, running towards Desmond into Desmond's arms, Connor, you're kind of looking.
Okay.
Well, that's what I heard. I mean, that's what I heard.
Towards Desmond, I didn't necessarily run into his arms.
Hey, you know what? I just go with the descriptions that you guys give me, and when you don't say anything otherwise, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. So as you're making that your run and you're doing that, and Connor, you look around. That thing is now moving towards you in a very sinister manner, as if it's moving to, I don't know what it's going to do to you, or at least that's what you're feeling. But it's like it's just moving, and it's feeling very sinister as it comes closer to you.
Connor would materialize the spirit katana at that point, and then I think he would go a toe-to-toe with this thing.
Okay. All right. So what power tags are going with this particular roll?
So let's see. We are going to go with turn it into any weapon. So doubly potent against aggressors.
Okay.
Ancient swordsmanship.
Okay.
I'm gonna say silent kill, based on the fact that it's an eyeball and it can't scream.
It has a mouth.
It's got a mouth.
Oh, does it have a mouth? I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a mouth. It's basically the beholder type creature from.
Oh, okay.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Gotcha. Okay. So I won't pick silent kill based on the fact that it could scream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick athletic, ready for the kill.
Okay.
And I think calm in the storm.
Calm in the storm. Okay. There's going to be a negative story tag that is going to be sinister gaze,
Sinister gaze. Okay.
and that is it.
So that should be 5 total. So let's go toe to toe. Mild success.
Wow, that is a crazy mild success. With 5 power attacks. Holy crap. Okay,
Yeah.
so going toe to toe with this thing, right? On a 7 and 9, you get to choose one of the following, along with the damage that goes with the 5, right? You manage to achieve your goal. They take hold of something, or you get it. Sorry. Okay, let me rephrase that. On a 7 and 9, you get to choose one of the following. You manage to achieve your goal. Take something that they hold. You get them good, giving your opponent a status with tier equals power. You block damage or counter their best attack attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you, and it's going to be interesting if you choose to do that. If you don't choose to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to actually I'm going to choose to do that. The last one you
Well,
mentioned.
So with a status with a let's see, what was I going to say? With the amount of power tags that you had, you would have enough. You would inflict a status on it that you would actually kill it. Like it would be gone. So you do have that in your favor if you choose to do the damage. The effect is going to be lesser than what it would be if you had failed the roll. But there is going to be a status effect on you. However, it really is your choice. And I'm telling you this mechanically, just because from a dramatic perspective, I need to be very clear about how I'm going to narrate what happens next.
Yeah. What was it was to pick a superior position? Is that the one that you had mentioned?
Let's see.
What was the one? I can't recall what that one was.
Okay, so you manage to achieve your goal, you get them good, or you block damage or counter their best attempt.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, in this case, I wouldn't kill it because I would rather not take the status. So I'm going to. He's going to. I'm assuming it's going to come in and try and take a chunk out of me, or is it just trying
no,
to. How does it attack?
Well, you're not really aware of what it's trying to do in the attack, but the sinister gaze is a reference to it. Basically, it's operating like a beholder in some way. There's something that's going to happen from its eyes.
Okay, so in which case he's going to. Well, he would have lunged towards it probably with a side swipe, and then countered and dodged out of the way.
Okay, so as you kind of it reels back, and its eye, its eyes actually just kind of, they're more concerned about where the blade is going because the blade is moving incredibly quickly, and so you're kind of able to swipe back and forth, kind of pushing it back towards the hallway, and so it's basically on the retreat right now, and you're in a position where you're able to now make an attack if you really want to.
I'll try that attack again because that was such a.
So are you saying that you want to try going toe to toe with him again?
Yeah, I'll try and go toe to toe again.
Okay, so I'm sorry if I didn't make this very clear. You actually are in a position where you could
hit him with all I got.
You could hit him with all you got if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah, I'll go hit him with all you got then. Using, I'm just trying to think, same power tags.
Yes.
I think they would all apply. Yeah. All right. So, do I still take the one from the Dread Gaze?
Yes, you do. No, actually, you don't.
Okay, let me just quickly redo that because I'm not sure. I guess I could have added the one in just to make it quicker. Shoot.
Right.
Let me just select this
Okay.
again. Okay. Just put it ready for the killstones. Oops. For some reason, none of my other ones got selected. There we go. Okay. Okay, so hit him with all I got. Of course. Jesus.
Well, sir. Okay.
Let's see here.
How am I going to narrate this? This is really interesting because on a 7 and 9, you get to choose one of the following on top of the tiered status. You can either secure the position, get him good or get him mini, control collateral damage, hold the target's attention, or gain the upper hand. Given the amount of damage that you did, he's going down, so I'm going to suggest you take the juice.
Yeah, I'll take the juice. Yeah.
Okay, describe to me the attack on which you kill this particular thing.
So he would have been in a better position, so I would assume either to the side where it's, within his peripheral vision where he can, I'm sure he can swivel eyes, but he would be at the side of the head. So he would have gotten to the side of the head, he would have sidestepped really quickly or just kind of slid there like he would have been really fast. Not as fast as Desmond, but definitely preternatural human speed. And then he would go ahead and he would take a jump, because I'm assuming it would be higher off the ground, like it would be slightly higher than his height.
Sure.
Like jump straight up and then just come across with a blade, flip it back in his hand mid-jump, and come across straight through, cutting it, bisecting it completely through.
Okay. So as you bisect it, it comes through, the thing kind of sort of splits, and as it splits, it just sort of falls into two pieces, and you hear a little bit of a croak for just a second, and you see the gooey, gutsy insides of the eyeball, and then the what was like the peripheral skin around the eyeball, allowing it to sort of float, and it's just sort of fizzling there as it starts to smoke a little bit. And as the thing dies, Charlie, you hear a scream from behind the doorway, as this thing is just sort of smoldering there. And you hear, "God damn it! Go get him! Bring him in here!" And you begin to hear footsteps.
Well, we're gonna be attacked, so
dope.
Probably pushes open the door.
As you push open the door, you see the three figures running towards you that you had previously had a combat with. The three storms.
Oh no, I thought I killed one of you guys.
I don't think they're easily killed.
He just kind of whines a little bit about it.
So you guys are fighting us, or?
They kind of spread out, and the three of them just begin to get into a combat position. And you see the one that wields lightning just start to create a ball of lightning. And you see him just kind of like doing the whole Raiden thing and sort of coalescing lightning between his hands.
He did this magic trick last time, and it didn't work very well.
Which was the one that, do you remember, Johnny, which one was the one that knocked me across the room and then...
I think it was Thunder.
Thunder?
Yeah.
Is this one Rain who's doing the lightning? Who's doing the lightning? Is that Thunder? I can't recall.
No, there was lightning and then there was rain.
Okay. Thunder was the one that expands?
Yes.
Okay.
And he looks perfectly fine.
I think Connor would be a little bit, at this point, he would like just be like, "God damn it, I thought I killed one of you guys," and whine about it a little bit, but then he would see, he sees Thunder and he's like, and he kind of points the spirit katana at him and he's like, That one's mine.
Okay. I'll get that one. And he points to the one on the left.
I mean, I'll attack any that attack me, so...
You're muted, Johnny, but I'm sure whatever you said was
I know it was
hysterical.
poor Charlie. I'm sorry. So, standing in the right in front of you is thunder, and on the right side,
Yeah.
lightning in the center, and rain on the left. And rain is where wielding swords, and thunder is.
Which one am I fighting? Just
It sounds like you're fighting lightning.
let's be friends. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, who makes the first move?
Desmond, obviously.
Oh wow! I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was a foregone conclusion. All right,
I mean,
Desmond, tell me what
he's a
happened.
speedster. Yeah.
Is
So
he the Scarlet Speedster?
no, he's not. He's the black speedster. So he's which one am I fighting?
Is
Lightning.
he the Nega Flash?
Yes.
You're fighting thunder, or no? You're fighting rain.
Rain. Okay, cool. Have we seen this one do anything before?
Have you seen this one do anything before? No, you have not.
Okay, cool.
You see that he is wielding a weapon, though, a sword.
Okay. What kind of sword is it?
It's one of those incredibly light sort of Chinese swords that they're thin and they sort of kind of flop and make a sound like a singing sound when they move through the air.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's not a katana so much as it is. It's just like almost like a longsword equivalent for the Chinese, except that it's got a very thin blade.
Yeah.
The kind of things that you'd see in a sort of like a Chinese martial arts film.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Desmond charges in, and he has Tsubaki transform into a pair of sais. Yeah, so I'm gonna fight this guy. So I'm gonna use transform into any weapon. I'm gonna use brawl. And super speed act just before it happens. I guess no, just super speed.
Okay.
So it's 3 to hit him with all I got.
Yes, sir.
Dope. Boom. Great success.
Okay, great success with him with all you got. Okay, so he takes the tier 3 status, okay, so the damage is reduced because he is, I can't remember what, I wrote it down somewhere there on the card that I had. I don't have the card in front of me because I wasn't actually able to get home. But he has something that actually reduces any damage by 3, so 3 status. So he doesn't actually take the hit, but you do get the benefits of hit him with all you got with the 2. So which do you want to take?
Hit him with all you got. My options are you take cover or superior, blah blah blah. You get him good. Yeah, I'm gonna get him good. Choose one.
Okay, you're gonna use it twice?
No, I only get to choose one on a 7 to 9. Oh no, I got a great success.
You got a great success. So you got 10.
Okay. So choose 2. I'm gonna get him good, and I gain the upper hand and take 1 juice.
You gain the upper hand and take 1 juice. Okay, so sorry. The thing that reduces the tier status by 3 is called invincible.
Okay.
When it takes physical harm or subdual status, reduce the tier of the status by 3.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so you're getting him good. So he's going to take a tier 1 status.
Yep.
And you're also going to get its superior position.
No, I'm gonna get the upper hand and take 1 juice.
You're going to get the upper hand. Okay. So describe the attack to him. Describe the attack to me, and then I will describe how he kind of reacts in that situation.
Okay. Yeah. So like they start running up, and we're like, "Oh, are we gonna fight?" And he's like, "I'll take this one. I'll take that one." And so he makes Tsubaki into size, and he charges in, and like he basically gets under his guard, and he spins the size around, so it's the pommel side out, and he just bashes him in the chest with the pommel side out, and then jumps back and spins them back up to points up.
Okay. So as you're able to do that, he kind of spins around. He takes the attack and then kind of spins around and begins to make an attack on you, which is where we're going to cut to Connor. Connor, you see Desmond kind of move into motion to make his attack against Rain. Thunder is smiling at you. It's giving you a big shooting grin.
Oh, Thunder! Connor cautiously, respectfully, paces towards Thunder. Has his he takes his sword. It's like the blade is tucked against his arm, like he's gripping the pommel, so it's reversed. Grip. And he bows. As he comes up, his eyes flash red, and then you hear,
"Hey, Tubby, let's dance."
And then he launches towards Thunder.
Okay, so what kind of an attack is this?
I think this is going to be a go toe to toe. And he's going to...
Okay, great.
He's going to go ahead and can turn into any weapon, ancient swordsmanship, again, doubly potent against aggressors. Let's see, athletic, ready for the kill. And I'll take Calm in the Storm as well.
Okay, so there are going to be 2 negative story tags in this particular fight with you.
Okay.
First is experienced fighter. And what that means is that he's fought you before, so he knows you as much as you know him, kind of a situation.
Yep.
And the second one is... reborn. And so that implies a little bit more of what's happened to him. So with that in mind, go for it.
All right. So great success. And
wow.
With that, he also has with the great success, he also has the improvement on his ring that's called Made for This. So it's choose a core move that best represents your actions, and I chose toe to toe. Let's see, and whenever I use it with tags from this theme, it's dynamite. So I used all my relic tags.
Okay. All right. Narrate the shit out of this.
So what Connor's going to do is he's going to lunge in. What he's going to do is he's going to run forward with the blade tucked against his back. He's going to kind of half flip it so it's flat, slide under him, pop up behind him, and then come right up under him with the still holding it reverse pommel, and slice right up his either backside, like from groin to chin. Okay.
So that's the narrative description. You now get to choose 2 since you went toe to toe, right?
Yep.
Choose 2 of the things that you want to do here.
I'm trying to remember what.
Okay, so you managed to achieve your goal.
Yep.
You get them good, which means you give the opponent a status of tier equals power. So remember that because these guys are invincible, they immediately drop 3 status on them. So the damage that you would do, since this was a power tag, or there was 4 power tags, it would be a tier status of 1 against him. And then you block, dodge, or counter their best attempt. So if you don't do that, he is going to also get a hit on you.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to... Does that work as it's with dynamite? I think, don't you get all 3 with toe-to-toe? I'm trying to recall with dynamite.
Let me look it up real quick.
But I would definitely take if I take the 2, I would definitely give him the tier 1 as a no-brainer. And then I would dodge their best attempts. Dodge or counter the best attempts.
Okay, so yes, on a dynamite, you receive all 3 move options.
Yeah. So I can get all.
So you're just gonna take all 3 then. So you're gonna achieve your goal, which is you're able to get behind him in your move. You're able to block his next attack, and then he's going to take a tier status 1. So you've narrated what happens. I'm going to narrate his result. Okay, so you kind of slide under him, and he's kind of lost. You get a slice up as you come back up. You slice him from groin to chin, basically. As you see him sort of lurch forward as he's kind of turning, and there's a gash on his back, but it's not a deep gash. As he kind of turns around and he tries to throw a punch at you, and you're able to kind of deflect and parry it, moving into sort of equal ground again with him, as he looks like he's ready to begin to make a lunge of another attack. As we cut to Charlie, who is about to deal with a ball of lightning to the face. Now, lightning is just sort of like coalescing this, and you can see him, with your the way that you see he's moving something, but you can't quite tell what he's doing.
She just smiles and waits.
And so he makes a motion that goes, that looks like he's like about to throw something at you like this, and just pushes forward like this.
Okay.
So
you're gonna go toe to toe.
Okay.
While trying to dodge what he's throwing at me,
okay.
I want to hit him and
awesome.
try to knock him on his ass.
Awesome.
So
what power tags are applying here?
Senses the finest detail, perfect short range target. I'm filtering out noise because I can hear the lightning.
Sure.
Martial arts and outgoing agility. That sound good?
All right. Yeah, unseen attack is going to be the one negative story tag, because unless anybody at the table can explain to me how, with Charlie's abilities and her mythos, she would be able to see the lightning coming at her. I don't think that's something she's going to be able to respond to. She's going to be able to see the physical motion, but she's not actually going to be able to see the lightning itself, unless somebody
lightning makes sound, doesn't it?
No, thunder makes sound.
Thunder makes sound. Well, but doesn't lightning make a crack sound
That's thunder.
Well, wait a minute. She is right, though. In the movie, lightning's ability, his lightning attack, it does make
a cracking sound.
All right.
So that's why I said that. It makes like a cracking sound. That's why I'd be able to hear it.
All right.
Yep.
Right. So I guess that negative story tag doesn't apply. Good job.
Thank you. Okay, go to
You're welcome. Do it.
Great success.
All right. So choose 2. You managed to achieve your goal.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them good.
Yes.
I mean, you're giving the tier status, or you can block, dodge, or counter. So you can choose 2 of those.
So I get them good, and I block, dodge, counter.
Okay. So describe what it's like when there's a bolt of lightning sort of coming at you that you avoid, and then you're able to get a hit on him. What does that look like?
I'm guessing that the lightning is coming at face level towards her. So she's gonna do a ninja roll, I guess, underneath it, and then stand up and kick him.
Okay.
And hopefully he falls on his ass.
Okay. So where do you kick him?
In the stomach.
All right. So Charlie makes her move, does a dodge, avoids the attack, comes sliding in, and lands a kick on him, and he goes flying back a little bit, maybe 5 feet back, and he's just kind of he just kind of swings back and kind of tumbles, and you can see that as he lands, he slaps his hands on the ground, and there's lightning just sort of percolating out from where he is, and you can see that, or you can feel that his body's energy is changing as he's starting to get back up and making the move to attack. Charlie, you're able to get back up into a position, making a move forward, as we cut back to Desmond, who is about to face a counterattack from Rain, as he kind of slices in with an attack. with his sword. Now you can either face danger or go to toe to toe.
I think I'm gonna go toe to toe. Let me just turn my head sideways and read it out of the book. What that does. For some reason, it's sideways in the book. I don't know why.
I know.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go toe to toe with this guy. I'm gonna use great reflexes, super speed, act just before it happens, and dodge.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Still, there's still no negative story tags in here for you. So go for it.
Okay. Yeah, dope. So go toe to toe, right? Click.
Yep.
Mild success. So I get to choose one.
You get to choose one.
Cool. So yeah, I dodge there. I block, dodge, or counter their best attempts.
So he comes in, he starts swiping at you with the sword, right? And as it's moving, it's making this sound, this sort of whistling sound, and it's a flurry of attacks. But you're able to kind of counter with the size and just kind of move forward and kind of angle it in such a way, and so
Yeah.
you're bringing yourself, he's kind of moving you back a little bit through the room, but he just kind of he does the swiping attack. But as you're watching it, you see that there's an opening for him, or to make to make an attack yourself. So you can go toe to toe with him again, or you can take a risk basically and go hit him with all you got.
I am going to hit him with all I got. Yeah.
All right, do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with all I got. Let's see. I think it's pretty much the same tags. Plus brawl.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So hit him with all I've got.
You're going to take a negative story tag of flurry.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a minus there, and I'm gonna use my juice.
To add as it a +1?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. So hit him with all I've got. Hit with all you got. Ba-bow! Jesus Christ. I did +5 on that. Okay, so mild success.
Mild success.
So I get to choose one. So he takes a status 5, a tier 5 status rather.
Okay.
And I am I'm gonna take a superior position.
Good call. Blade comes swinging back, continue swinging back. You're able to kind of, do your swinging motion. Describe the attack that you see as you see the opening with the size. What happens with this particular attack?
Yeah, so Desmond might not be the smartest cookie in the pack, but he is at least combat efficient. And seeing the weapon this guy picked, he went with a defensive weapon. Size are made to deflect swords. So basically, anytime he comes down, he's locking up the blade in the side, and just kind of moving them aside. And he takes one of them, moves it aside, spins it, and bashes him in the nose with the pommel of the blade.
As you do that, you hear his nose crack, and he kind of reels, and kind of his nose is starting to sort of bleed, and you see that the blade as well is swiping is kind of just it's not with it's kind of sort of a blind attack at this point, so you're able to easily kind of avoid any other attack that he does, and he's kind of reeling back, and you impose a tier 2 status on him as you get through his invincibility to break his nose and have that he's gushing, and he's really frustrated at this particular point, and you see like the anger sort of flaring in him, and his eyes begin to turn to this sort of this bluish sort of glow.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like water, ocean or dead water kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
And he moves in for the attack again as we cut to Connor facing an attack from Thunder. Thunder just kind of reels back and throws in a huge punch towards you. So you can either go toe to toe with him, or you can face danger in this situation.
I'm gonna go toe to toe.
Okay.
I think all the same tags would apply here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So the negative story tags apply too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Make sure that those continue to get in there, and go ahead and roll it.
Yeah. It'd be a power. It would be a power of 4.
Yep.
Okay. 9.
All right, mild success. So going toe to toe, you get one of those following on that list.
He's going to block, dodge, or counter his best attempts.
Okay, so Thunder comes in, does the swing. You're able to just kind of juke one way and kind of miss it, and then pivot as you come in through an attack. He's able to kind of knock the sword out. Another swing comes in, but you're able to kind of swing and kind of juke yourself and parry and avoid the attack again. As there's a couple of like him just basically moving in with his fist, and you're just kind of dodging back and forth, using your blade and just kind of making your way back, and it's kind of pushing you back a little bit. But as you kind of as he's kind of doing this swinging and he's just moving forward, you're able to see that there is an opportunity for attack again. Now you can either go toe to toe and potentially face some serious damage, or you can hit him with all you got and then face even more damage, but get essentially get him in a really significant way. You're seeing the opportunity for attack there.
Then I'll definitely try hit him with all you got, and I'm pretty sure all the same tags are going to apply.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that wouldn't apply there. All right. So I'm going to roll it, and I've got the minus tags in there too, so it's going to be a power of 4 still.
Okay.
Great success.
All right, great success. Hit him with all you got. So he's going to take a tier status 1 already, based on that.
Yep.
So describe to me the attack, and then I want you to choose the 2 options from the hit him with all you got.
So what he's gonna do is when I'm picturing like him throwing haymakers basically, and he's kind of dodging and weaving through, and then he's going to like come up from behind one of the haymakers, kind of grab one of his arms real quickly, and then just reverse the blade, stab it into his side, pull it out, and then dance away.
Okay, so that's what your attempt is. So you do get a tier status, or you get a tier status 1 on him already with that. So, what else do you want to do in that particular attack? Like, what do you want to do with those 2 options?
I'm trying to find it in the book for the hit him with all you got.
Okay, so it's you can take cover or secure a superior position. That means he's not going to be able to do damage to you. You get him good, or get many of them, which would add a +1 status to the attack. You can control collateral damage, which doesn't necessarily seem to apply in this case. You can hold the target's attention, which doesn't necessarily seem to apply in this space, or you can get the upper hand and take a juice.
Okay, I get 2 additional.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get a better position, so he won't be able to come at me, and then I will. I'll get him good.
Okay, so say that again. Say what was the first one again?
I'll
Secure
get him good,
position.
secure position, and then get him good.
Okay. So you make your attack. You come in. You get the point of the blade into him, and then you move around. You get inside of what looks to be the type of armor that he's wearing, and you're able to kind of slide the blade in. Now, it was a tier 4 status attack, or it was those 4 power tags, so it was going to be a tier 1 bit after his invincible reduced it from 4 to 1. You get him good, so you add an additional 1 to it, so it's going to be a tier 2 status. Now, he already had a tier 1 status attack effect on him, and so as you make that attack, the blade sort of goes in and have a tier 2 status on the way to tier 3. But that gash in sort of his side is starting to force him to bleed a little bit, and he's starting to kind of hold his side a little bit. And so he's definitely having some difficulty, using his left side, which is the side that you got him on.
Okay.
And so you see him enraged, and he makes a move to stomp onto the ground. Like he gets so frustrated, and he stomps onto the ground, and you're going to have to face danger in just a second as we cut back to Charlie, who is she's in a standing position over Lightning as he's trying to get up. So Charlie,
I'm going to kick him in his face.
Yeah, you really have the advantage here. So you're going to hit him with all you got?
Yeah, in his face with my foot.
All right, do it. Stomp this guy.
So all the same power tags apply, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 12. Yes, I know. It was good.
Attack as you're kicking as he's trying to get up.
What?
Roboting. Okay. Describe the attack. Describe, basically kick him in the face. What does that look like?
I guess he's going to, try to like lean forward, use his hands to get up because he's already kind of disoriented, and then I'm just gonna like front kick him in the face and then step on his face.
Okay, so as you kind of step on his face, going in with that 12, you get to choose two things on top of the tier 5 or the status effect that you're going to apply on him. You can take a superior position or cover.
Yes.
Get him. Okay, you're going to take that one. Okay, and then you've got a second one. You get juice, or it seems like juice or get him good applies here.
What do I get with get him good? +1.
+1 to your tier. Now,
yes.
He already has a tier 2 status on him.
Yes.
Another tier 2 status would have equaled to 3.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so you're getting him, and he now has a tier 3 status on him, and he looks very badly bruised as he's kind of frustrated, as he takes the kick to the face, and he's kind of like he's laying back prone, and he just again makes another motion where it's almost like he's going all out. So you're gonna have to face danger here, as there's coursing lightning coming at you.
Okay, well, I think all my same power tags apply.
Okay.
Great success.
Damn it.
When do I not get great successes though? It's like very rare.
You know what? Can we not talk about how good Charlie is?
I know.
Seriously?
I'm the best.
She foils
Number
all the
one.
plans. She foils all the plans. Whereas
I know.
Mike foils the plans with his ideas. Sam foils all the plans with the roles. Connor, you need to step up. All right. So
I just stomp. I just grind my foot harder into his face.
So you do, and instead the lightning just kind of goes up and sort of coalesces out along the ceiling and just kind of crawls back, along the thing. As that's happening, we're going to cut back to Desmond, who is dealing with Rain and his broken nose. Rain is now incredibly furious, and he throws the blade at you.
Okay. I move out of the way.
We'll face danger, or go toe to toe with him.
No, I have something else in mind. I guess the answer would be face danger. I guess.
What do you have something else in mind? What is this? What is this?
Was that about ruining your ideas with?
Yeah.
You're fun with ideas, Johnny.
Yeah, dope. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Cool. So I'm gonna face danger, right? Let me reset this shit. So I'm gonna face danger. Great reflexes. Super speed. Act before it happens. Good catcher, which is one I never get to use. You can say you know what you wanted to say, and then dodge.
There's a family stream.
Yep. So yeah, I have a 5. You have any negatives for me?
A demigod's rage.
Okay.
The negative story status.
-1. All right, cool. So I'm gonna face danger. Mild success. You take the status with a -1 tier on it.
Okay, well, the blade comes swinging at you as you're able to kind of move out of the way with your super speed, but you weren't anticipating that he could actually hit you.
Yeah.
And so there was a little bit of bravado and confidence there as the blade sort of slices into you, and you're going to take a tier 1 status of cut.
Okay, and that's a status of cut. And that is a 1 and a -. Okay, cool. So I have a -1 tag.
Yes, sir.
Dope. Okay, so that was him. I'm gonna try something.
Oh my God! What are you gonna? Oh, God. Anyway,
I'm gonna change the game. Yeah, I'm gonna change the game. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to create a heavy fog. And I'm gonna run away. Super speed. I think that's really all that applies.
Seriously, Charlie, do you want to date this guy? I mean, do you really want to date somebody who's?
I have an idea, and it's gonna be great. Okay, I don't need your shit. So I'm running past these guys. So I'm also gonna use great reflexes and dodge, as well. I assume cut comes into play here.
Sure.
Okay, so cut is a -1 for me. So I'm at, with cut, I have a -1. I have at +3 total, and I'm going to change the game.
Okay.
Great success.
God damn it.
Every time I
Roll
need
20.
it.
What? Roll 20. I swear to God, you're pissing me off. Anyways, go on.
Every time I need it. I get a minimum of 2 juice, +1, right, for having 3 power.
Sure.
Cool. So I'm going to create a story tag, which is Fog Cloud. It is a negative story effect for everyone but Charlie. For you, it could possibly be a positive effect. I'm going to scale the effect up so it hits the entire hallway.
Okay.
And then I am going to... So it says any other improvements you and the MC agree on. I would like to agree on I get away unscathed. Right, so I'm basically running through two fighting combatants, at least 2. And I want to get through them without getting hit.
Okay.
Right, that makes sense?
Yes.
And then one more story tag is... man, I'm gonna create a story tag that is I don't know, some kind of weird bondage thing, like handcuffs, I guess, like indestructible handcuffs. Yeah, handcuffs. I turn Tsubaki into handcuffs. And what I'm doing is I basically pop ninja smoke, and I run by everybody, and I run into the room that David Lopan's in. And my goal is to handcuff that dirty old man. Because we're going to be here fucking fighting these dudes all goddamn day, and I just need David Lopan to fucking shake down and make that girl blow a horn or something.
Blow a girl.
Yeah, I don't have time for this shit in this hallway fucking up these dudes. So, that's what I'm doing, Johnny.
Okay.
What's David Lopan about in that room? What's he doing? He's being old in a wheelchair?
He's being old in a wheelchair, and he's flipping through a very ancient text as you kind of step into there. Now, real quickly, before we deal with that scene, we're going to cut as to what happens to the rest of them.
Yeah.
So the fog just kind of blossoms out, right? And there's all of this, this confusion that happens from the 3 storms. Rain, as he threw his blade, was moving in for the next attack as Desmond disappears, and this fog just sort of coalesces everywhere. For Thunder, he starts throwing and swinging he continues swinging the punches, trying to find towards Connor, and then Connor, you're just given this cover, and he just goes swinging towards and past you, right? And so for Lightning, who is currently just dealing with having a foot in his face, he kind of opens his eyes, and the fog just sort of illuminates with his lightning effect, but otherwise it just he's just kind of like lost in the circumstance. So for Charlie and for Connor, you can move very quickly through this particular scene and disengage if you guys want to, or you can kick these guys' ass.
I have my foot on someone's face, so I'm not just gonna lift this foot up.
The problem is, I think Connor, as much as he wants to kill Thunder again, I honestly think he's more focused on the goal rather than the fight. He would want to get the scroll from Lopan. Sorry, Charlie. You guys are no fun. You guys suck.
Basically.
Leaving.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move back to Desmond in there as you find Lopan just sort of flipping through a manual, and he looks up as you walk into the room, and he says, "Well, who the hell are you?"
I'm Black Star.
What kind of a ridiculous name is that?
You named them Rain, Thunder, and Clouds or some dumb shit.
I didn't name them. That's their names.
Well, that's my name.
That's a pretty dumb name.
You're old.
What do you want?
Not to fight those guys. I was just sent here by Tamante. He wants you to make his daughter, sister, cousin. He wants you to make his relative play up horn again.
Is Connor and Charlie in the room with Desmond hearing all this?
As you
As you walk in, you see Desmond save the day.
He owes me money. He owes me money. I don't need to do anything for him at all. You need to get out of here. You need to leave an old man be.
I'm pretty sure those guys tried to kill us, and you have a gang of people training to go rob a library, and there's a lake full of corpses below your building. I'm pretty sure I could just arrest you. He's the mayor's guy.
He kind of shrugs. He's like,
Not for long. Charlie says.
he just kind of looks at Charlie. He's like, shakes his head. Really? Like,
I mean,
doing this right now?
yeah, I mean, he's not going to be the mayor for much longer, so.
He just sighs.
So, you gonna help us, or am I gonna arrest you?
You have no authority here. As the three storms step into the back of the room,
Why we
and
should
he just like
Why did you
raises his hand.
Why did you follow me?
I was going to take them out, but you know,
You,
Connor over here was just like, let's go.
you guys were the distraction.
I mean, I was trying, my foot was on his face, I was going to crush his teeth.
I know, hun. It's fine.
Did you just call her?
He sure did. He sure did.
She just gets like really silent and just like,
I'm a little uncomfortable with where this is going, but okay.
Oh,
And
fuck.
Lopan just kind of looks at you and says, "Why should I help him? He owes me money."
Maybe if you help him, he'll give you money. I don't know. I was just come here to ask you to help him.
What is this all about? What does he need anyways?
a
Something
scroll.
about a scroll that will make her play some kind of music again.
That makes no sense.
I don't know how this works. Connor, explain it to him.
Hang on, I got something. I'm just picturing Desmond going like his thought process going like, Connor, you're old. You explain it to him.
Yeah.
So,
What a dick.
yeah.
That's what I say to Johnny all the time, every Wednesday.
Oh my god. Desmond dies. Your sister dies. You all die.
Perfect.
Wait, Kath dies? Okay. That's fine. I'll die.
He's like,
as
I'm
long
good
as
with that.
Kath is dead.
So Connor, I have an interesting thing I want to bring up here because Connor, we all know he has part of a demon personality. We all know that because we saw him transform into a demon samurai. Now, going off of, this is kind of metagaming, Johnny. I just didn't know how you want to play this, but going off of that, would Connor have any knowledge of Qing Dai?
Sure.
You would see him look at Lopan. His eyes would flare red, and then you would see a very faint visage of the demonic form he took. It wouldn't be fully formed over him. It would be like kind of like a glazed over coating, like bad Vaseline on like an Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Expendables movie.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. And you could sit there and you would say to Lopan,
I hear you owe Qing Dai more. Don't worry about Timonte.
How are you going to help me do that? How are you going to... What do you know about Qingdai? This has nothing to do with you.
Oh, but it does have something to do with me.
Explain.
As you all know, I'm part demon. We all know about the demon of the East. And I know you have a transgression against him. You
Go
are
on.
to appease him, are you not?
Absolutely.
What if we were to... What if I were to put in a good word with Qingdai?
Convince him.
Okay.
This feels like a total convince roll, so convince him.
Okay, so let's see. I would take Calm in the Storm.
Okay.
Let me just reset my tags real quick. So I would take Calm in the Storm, Hardworking Man, because he's really working hard to convince this guy.
Okay.
City Official, because he has an air of authority about him.
Okay.
Let's see here. And I think that would be everything I could possibly add to that right now.
Okay. Does anybody want to throw anything to support this, just out of curiosity?
Mike, you're muted.
No, I didn't say anything. I shook my head no. I don't have anything.
Okay.
If it's a convince, I have fear as a weapon.
He could be scared. That could actually work, because he is kind of wary of Qingdai.
Throw it in as an additional.
Okay.
Convince him.
Oops. Nice. All right. So, convince. 14. Great success.
He looks at you, and he's a little weary. And he looks down at his book in front. Damn it! What do you need?
Connor would glare up at him, eyes glowing red.
The scroll to restore her spirit.
Restore what?
We need Galen Bell to play her horn again.
Oh, that old silly... that's easy. Why did Tamonte even send you? He could have come himself. And he kind of fumbles, and you see him kind of reach for the remote control, or the little joystick on his motorized wheelchair, and he turns and goes over to a series of shelves that has a bunch of scrolls, and he reaches up and he grabs one. And you see him for just a second actually stand up and grab it, and when he stands up, he's 7 feet tall and looks very different. He's dressed in these ornate robes, these ornate red robes, and he's got long black hair braided down his back, and he's wearing this strange hat. And he stands up and he reaches and he grabs for it and he sits back down. And when he sits back down, he is just this incredibly old, decrepit man. And he turns back and he wheels over to you and he said, and he motions to the three storms who are moving in again. Now, damn it, get out of here! And I don't want to see you here again. Stop messing with my neon dragons.
Oh,
You're lucky
neon.
we didn't shake. You're lucky we didn't shake the pillars of heaven and earth.
I thought
Yeah,
they were,
go. And he kind of shoot.
I thought
and
they
he
were
just tells you to get
rainbow
out.
dragons. Okay. Thanks, man. He turns and walks away.
So you see Connor revert back to his normal form, and the spirit image fades.
Okay. And so we're gonna cut to you guys walking through as you guys walk through the big open sparring area, again there is this air of like respect and ignoring Charlie as she kind of walks through because she was the badass, making you guys way all the way back up to and out of the Wing Kong exchange. And so we cut back to Xanadu, where Tamonte is there with Galen Bell, just sort of like, and she's just kind of looking there. Why am I here? What's going on? Why is he sleeping over there? And you see that there is a horn case next to her. It's a trumpet case. As Tamonte kind of invites you all back in, he says, "Well, did you get it?"
Connor pulls out hands him the scroll.
He kind of, okay, so did he give you any instructions?
No, you just asked us to go get the scroll.
Tamonte just kind of shakes his head. That pissant little old man. And he says, okay, well, open it, see what it says.
I mean, shouldn't you open it since, this is your thing, not ours. Our job was to get the scroll.
And he shakes his head and he's like, I've got to manage her and him. Can you do this?
Connor opens it.
So as you open the scroll, it's this ornate sort of like description narrative. And it's a short narrative. As you kind of read through it, what it does is it describes, taking two pieces and making them one, and it's this sort of flowery, sort of poetic thing. And so you kind of read it just as it's there. The writing sort of kind of shimmers and changes as if there are multiple languages going on, but you can clearly understand it.
Okay.
And so you were able to kind of read it, but nothing happens once you open and read it.
Okay.
Like you read it, you don't actually read it out loud, you just kind of read it, sort of thing. What do you do?
Well, he would unfurl the parchment, and I'm assuming Tamonte would be holding Galen, or would you? How would the?
Yeah, he's taking care of her as this is all going on. Like he's just like attending to her and answering her questions and trying to keep her calm.
And he would start reading the scroll, and holding it up in front of him, and just pronouncing what the flowery verse would be, because.
All right. So as you're reading this flowery verse and this is going on, the case, and you see this sort of this outline of a glow coming around Galen, and as you're kind of paying attention to all of this glow sort of shimmers from both of them, and this appears like there's this merging in of these lights as it sort of comes together. And when you're done reading, the glow sort of dissipates, and she looks around and says, "What happened? Where have I been? I thought I was going to Valhalla." And Tamonte kind of looks down at her and says, "It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I need you to play your horn now." "But I don't understand. I was supposed to wait there. What? I remember him," and he points to Desmond. "And I remember him too. And there was a couple other guys," and he pointed to Connor. But I don't remember." Says to her, I know. I just need you to play your horn." And so she reaches in and grabs for it. And as she comes out, the horn is just sort of this shimmering sort of brass. It shines with its own interior glow. And Tamonte looks at the three of you as this is going on and says, "Thank you. What can I do? What can I do for you? How can I compensate you? You've done something that's immeasurable."
And you cure blindness?
You were born with that, right?
No. I went blind when I was 5, but I'm going to take that as a no because you stuttered.
Wow.
Then no, not right now. Thanks. I'll call in a favor if I ever need one.
Fair enough. Looks to Desmond and Connor.
Desmond?
Nah, I'm like a dope superhero, so I'm pretty good. Keep giving me superhero jobs. Tell everyone you know Black Star is the best superhero in town.
Black Nova, yeah.
Why don't we get some Black Comet, t-shirts made,
Get
maybe?
some apparel.
Yeah,
And
that
some
worked
rap
because
range.
you'll be Black Comet, my sidekick, and you can be Black Nova, my other sidekick. Perfect. You guys nailed it with the names. 10 out of 10. Make that happen.
And Kamate kind of smiles and chuckles and says, "Done."
Perfect.
And
I'm
looks at-
no sidekick. You're my sidekick.
And he looks to Connor and says, "You."
You let me know more about my relic and my place in this city. So,
Done.
what I could... No, you've already done that.
Okay.
So what I can say is just keep a spot warm for me when the fighting starts.
Done. And he smiles. And as he smiles, you see that Galen has taken the horn. She's kind of cleaned it off with a polished cloth. She puts it to her lips, and she blows. And the noise that it comes out of this is this beautiful, sort of clear, sort of trumpet sound. And as it sort of sings and permeates the room, the sound waves are intense for Charlie, because she can actually see them sort of broadcasting from the horn, and it starts to become really intense and loud. And as that's happening for Desmond and Connor, you're seeing this sort of energy sort of come off of her, as you hear and see Oscar begin to stir at the desk, and he kind of sits up and he looks around and he says, "What has happened? What's going on?" And that's where we're going to end it.
Dope. Cool. So guys, that was our third of 4 one-shots. Let's go around, introduce our cast here, get your guys' thoughts on this one-shot, and then we'll get out of here and reset for the last and final one, Battle of the Bards. We'll start with Connor. We'll start with Bronze. Bronze, you've been here for almost all of these. So who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of this episode?
Awesome episode. Still love the bringing in of David Lopan. Finally getting to see David Lopan was awesome. And you can always find me on my channel. Hopefully we'll be getting our City of Mist, not 6&Twenty campaign, running again in the near future. It's just I gotta work some stuff out with scheduling and whatnot, and it'll be Neon Knights from then out. Also, just really quickly, I should also just mention the Kickstarter for City of Mist. It's gone live for their stuff too, so that's also something if you might want to take a look at. Other than that, that's about it. I do this sort of thing sometimes on this guy's channel.
Sweet. Let's jump over to Sam. Sam, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of this episode?
Hi, I'm Sam. You can find me.
The end.
I mean, that's how fast it goes on the Tuesday Crew.
Yep.
You can find me on Twitter at Harley's Armory. And today was fun. I like the one-shots because, I mean, it's different playing with new people than people I play with, like, every week. So that's fun. And I hate Cass, so.
That's fair. Yeah. She's kind of a bitch. So last but definitely least, Johnny, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of today's episode?
Sorry, I was roboting there. Johnny, Video Store Cowboy, everywhere except on Twitter. It's Vid Store Cowboy, GM for the 6&Twenty thing. You guys did some pretty cool stuff today. Wasn't quite exactly what I had planned for today, but the way that it rolled out, it went really well. Damn you, Desmond, for saving Kat, and damn you, Desmond, for shortcutting the fight at the end, and damn you, Mike, just period. Let's just say that right. All you guys did great. it was nice seeing Charlie back in action. It was nice seeing Connor back in action, and screw Desmond again. Yeah, and next place you'll be able to see me. 30 Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time, where I'll be doing a short Blades in the Dark series for them while they're waiting for another series to start.
Who is that? Because you roboted.
Dungeons and Distractions.
Nice.
6:30 p.m. on Mondays.
Yeah. Fantastic. Cool. So, guys, as Brom said, there is a Kickstarter going on right now for City of Mist. They are releasing a bunch of extra books, and they're actually breaking their core book, which was 500 and some odd pages, out into 2 separate books. You guys can go pledge for that. That's not going to be out. It's out on Kickstarter right now, but the book's not going to be out for a few months. However, if you want the book now, if you want the core rule book, the starter set, the PDFs, all that fun stuff, head over to that link that's in chat right now and use the coupon code 6&20fan to get 10% off all of those items. I highly recommend you do that. And if you haven't caught up on 6&20, check it out on YouTube. You can find it on Not So Speedruns, Video Store Cowboy, as well as mine. And I'll put all the social media links in chat. Sam, go order yourself a pepperoni and pineapple pizza. Well done, extra pineapple, and have a great time. Courtney, thank you for that $60 donation. That puts us over our goal. We should be at $151.55. Sorry, $251.55. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to reset out of here. We're going to jump in for the last game, Battle of the Bards. You guys can figure out what that means. And we're going to get the hell out of here. And that's it. From all of us to you guys. Bye-bye.